Howdy, folks. Welcome to Mosaic Team 5. This is our original Starfinder campaign. I am Joe Treff, your Dungeon Master, who's having a lot of trouble with words after speaking all day today. And joining me, I have my friends Matt, Dan, Olive, Kara, and Ari. Thank you for joining us. Before we get started, just a couple of things that I wanted to go over, a few announcements. First of all, the emotes have changed around. You can notice the order has shifted slightly. We have a new Echo one that is on the way, and that is going to be a 50,000 bits emote reward. The rest of the rewards are all based around your characters. At different tiers, you can unlock different versions of the characters. I realize I think I'm the only person that has them all unlocked, so I could just pump them all into chat really quick. Although it's actually kind of hard for me to find them all. But not to worry, I'll do it during the break. You can do that by donating bits, and you can use those bits to help Mosaic Team 5 in a number of ways. A lower donation of bits allows them to recharge their ammo and various other capacities. A little bit more can send special help in the form of weapons or people. And then finally, a much larger donation of 30, I can't remember how many bits, but it's $30, will buy the entire cast here pizza. So all of those things that you can do. Those unlock various emotes that you can use across Twitch. We also have the Junk Falls Will Always Be Junk competing channel points update. So there are two things that you can apply your channel points to. Channel points you earn by just watching. These channel points are either to a Junk Falls Will Always Be Junk relief site, and that is a place where Nazma, at your behest, has begun I love that jingle, has a humanitarian bent to their aid to the people in your planet. The other one that you can donate to is a little bit more extreme and based around an armed rebellion of said planet. Depending on which is getting more donations, will heavily influence the next stage of this story. So feel free to donate and you can shape the story as well. If you want to send an email to anybody here, you could do so at cast@alberonrpg. We also have a website, alberonrpg.com, where all the bounties are posted. There are highlights for different characters, things of that nature. And then finally, next week, we are not going to be having our D&D game that we normally play on Friday. We will be playing tomorrow. But next week, Kara will be running a original one-shot, which is horror-themed and going to be quite a bit of fun. So you can join us for that. That is going to be at the normal time, 7 p.m. on Friday next week. And with that, also music, like this nice jazz that you're hearing here. Yeah, I know, gosh, so close.
How dare you?
Like this smooth jazz that you're hearing right here. You can use Sirenscape. It's a digital tool set that you can use to inject music into your games, your life, or wherever you want music to be. You can control it really finely. If you want just birds chirping extra loud, you can add that in the background. You can really customize your sound set. So that is Sirenscape digital tool set. And with that, I can get us into our recap because it has been 2 weeks.
Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah. Pew?
Pew, pew. Nice. Pew.
Pew, pew, pew. I hate you guys.
Who needs
Mosaic
Sirenscape?
Team 5. I do. Last we played, you discovered an outgoing transmission. Spice, you, the only one who can speak Vesk, able to translate for everybody else. This transmission was going out into space, advising those that are part of a rebellion called the True Veskarium to proceed to the mine or mines of Siren. Echo, you rolled a natural 20 as you spread your consciousness through the ship and beyond just looking through the systems or repairing any individual system, you were able to truly defeat the ship's countermeasures. And by patching various systems together and connecting the electronic components, you were able to open the video component to the hangar. And there, you were able to see, still waiting for all of you, in the shuttle bay of the Tagatosh Oxai, Harlax the Gorefiend, your current bounty. You chose, Echo, to taunt him across the intercom to the ship.
Yeah.
As you questioned why he might still be here, he challenged you back, saying that he was waiting for you. All of you proceeded on your way and found, by looking through some of the controls and schematics of this craft, that you had two options. You could either proceed through, on the left-hand side, the gun deck that you had all battled by on the exterior of the ship. there, as you, again, Echo, able to access the video components of the ship that were still active, you saw a ambush, 6 vesk lying in wait for you. You opted, instead of taking this ambush, to proceed through a reactor room, leaking radiation. Shade, you led the way, taking about 30 feet into the space, immediately feeling the effect of this heavy radiation, but noticing up on the ceiling there were pods that you could puncture that would let this foam of anti-radiation drift across you and protect you along your way. As you discovered this, Echo, with tremendous speed, you navigated across the entirety of the chamber, tripling the speed of your companion, and though almost passing out with radiation sickness at the control panel, you were able to throw the switch, disable this leaking reactor, and progress through. You all entered Deck 1A of the personnel chambers, and as you picked your way through, finding a variety of traps along the way, Bubs, when you came to a closed door, you decided the best way to proceed was to punch straight through it. Seeing all of these traps, all of the mines, you put all of these fears aside, and with a natural 20, punched straight through, narrowly missing the trap set on the other side of this door. In the room was a vesk, dressed differently than the rest. And this vesk, you freed after learning that they were a member of Harlax resistance that had dared question Harlax's judgment. You learned a little bit about the Veskarium, about Ornithiacs, and a number of other figures, I believe. But you progressed on and decided that you would be able to bypass this ambush now would loop back once you, Gibbs, learned that there was a portable surgical suite in their possession. You ambushed the ambushers from behind. It was a challenging battle, though much easier than if you had come in at the other side where the explosive fuel cells had been stored, as was originally planned. Along with your ally that at one point, Gibbs, you had actually questioned if they had turned on you as they did disappear up an elevator. Muvashi. Managed to fight alongside you and the bounty hunter Rose Lashman. As a team of 7, you have been very effective at clearing the space. And now, with a lot of the sounds of the combat dying around you, all of you have a decision to make. With Muvashi and Rose on your side, you are left with only one section of the ship ahead of you before progressing onwards, and this is your destination. This is the portside shuttle bay where you know this vesk to lie in wait. And that's where we're going to start for tonight. So give me just 1 second here.
Is anyone hurt? Is everyone okay?
I believe I remain undamaged. Thank you, Rose.
Yeah, thanks, Rose. Appreciate it.
And as always, thank you, Gibbs, for your assistance.
Thanks. You're welcome. Muvashi, really, you kind of scared me there, I'll be honest. I thought you were going to turn tail and run, but I'm happy I'm surprised to see you still.
I have unfinished business with Harlax.
Yeah, so about that. So we're obviously here for the bounty. So we would like to, take his dead body back with us and all of that. Is that going to be a problem for you? And
as long as I don't have to help carry it.
No, we're happy to. We can do the labor there. I just wasn't sure if, Ortho, Thylax, Thyrax, Thycrax. Ornithiacs. If they were going to want, a lock of hair or something.
Unlike you, we trust each other.
Yeah, bureaucracy, not very trusting. Well, we're heading on unless anyone needs a break. Do you want to tell us about... I got the sense that while Harlax is kind of a thorn in your side, that he's obviously got enough popularity to garner a whole resistance against you guys. How's that gonna go?
The face is very still. You can tell just by the neutral sort of expression that this is definitely a question that affects them in some way. Make a sense motive check.
Gladly.
While she's doing that, can I search the area for that portable field kit?
Yeah, make a perception check.
The surgical kit?
No, it's a portable field kit that can drill through the metal walls of the ship, I believe you said?
Yeah, it's a number of tools, but yeah, there's a few things
Can
like
I use
that.
my feet diligent searcher just for the first half of the area?
Sure, no problem. So yeah, you don't even need to roll.
Okay.
So you're taking a little bit of time to do this,
Yeah.
no problem.
27.
27. As you look at their face, the scales sort of almost flush from the excitement of battle. You can see are now returning to the almost rotten peach-like hue that they had before. But the eyes in the pupils, you can't really hide the fact that they shrink down to pinpoints. There's anger in those eyes. But she says, "This is not a concern for you. We are separate people after the war. You stay to your own. We'll deal with ours."
I've got a war back home as well, and I don't think that they're comparable in any way to the grief I'm sure you guys are experiencing, but unlike you, I am holding my hand out, hoping for anyone who could possibly help us, and I'm not going to turn help down. So I can't possibly weigh helping you or assisting in any way or caring about you unless I understand a little bit more about what you're asking for. Or, well, I guess you're not asking for it, but I just don't want you to feel alone if you feel that you are on the side of right and good and important. And really, all I'm saying is I empathize, and you can do with that what you will, but I'm grateful for you helping us here.
Make a diplomacy check.
Okay.
And take a +2 conditional modifier to that, too.
16 plus 9, 25. 5 plus 2 is
27.
27 again.
Okay. The eyes seem to return to normal, and the features soften a little bit. She says, it's less of actually what she says. You can see that there is hesitancy in her for the first time. She's been very sure of herself. There is this sort of always having an answer that is prepared. But for the first time, she really hesitates. She sighs, and then she says, "The forces at play are larger than you know, and there will come a time where you will have a role to play as well. Not just you, Yosoki. All of you. But we have things to focus on now." And at this, Rose, the Goran, who is a plant-like creature, the face, a number of tiny petals that kind of shift. Now you can see these little petals almost creasing as she looks a little frustrated, and she says, "And in fact, we do need to be moving on."
Right. I'm sorry. I just, like to hear the sound of my own voice, really. You guys ready?
We're still in the gunnery, right?
Yeah.
I'm probably still looking around, trying to find as much stuff as I can.
Yeah. And I would say at this point, Bubs, you come across shifting one of the corpses to the side. It's almost like if it's like a really crappy version of a utility belt, but still, for all of that, you can see that there is a power source located. It almost looks like a fanny pack on the back, but it has the glowing indicator that tells you the percentage of power that is left. And you can see there's a number of power tools that do attach to this as well, almost collapsible in ways. A drill, things of that nature. Could it pierce through this bulkhead? Certainly. It would take time. These are hand tools.
One last thing is, I pull out of my cargo pocket. I've got a pack of 6. What are they called? Flares. And I put them on the floor and I kick them to Echo as I'm talking.
Okay.
Echo grabs the 6 flares and stows them in their ammo pouch.
Okay.
Can I look? Are there? Because there's one of the guys, the leader, had like a big sword hammer thing. I'm looking for any weapons that we could potentially use.
Sure.
Echo's also looking for the rifles they were using.
No problem.
Yeah.
Without even making checks, these weapons still like gripped by the people who are using them. And did I print them out? Was I smart? I know I wrote them.
I thought I had one of them from last time.
It would have been the micro fusion rifle.
Yeah,
But-
I wrote it down, but I don't think I have the card.
Yeah, I actually totally
That's
forgot to do
my-
the cards, even though everybody reminded me. But not to worry. It's a micro fusion rifle, which you can search because it is a Starfinder thing.
Nice.
The microfusion rifle is something that deals fire damage as well as another type. I can't remember which. But these weapons, as you look at them, are all vesk make. They are weapons that probably actually. So you're there, Spice. And as you look at these weapons that your companions are holding, you would recognize, having actually seen these before, these are older weapons, as these are from the Vesk War. And they're sort of mismatched. And so as you look at these individuals, a lot of them look different. Some of them are in different kind of health. You can see it's not like they've all lived together for a long time. These are Vesk who probably fought in the war, maybe alongside Harlax, and have since dispersed and now rejoined under his banner. These are older weapons. They're still plenty lethal. You've seen kind of what they can do. The swords that all of them have are carbon blades. Those are also Starfinder items you can search.
Light microfusion rifle.
What level is that?
4.
Yes, light microfusion rifle. The weapons that they have are carbon blades. Those you can also look up. And then the hammer is the exact same thing that Bubs has, but without the magma ability. So it's essentially just a very mundane warhammer.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over to the hammer and pick it up. And Spice is still in the area, correct?
Yeah. As you pick the... Okay, yeah, continue.
I'm gonna pick it up and. I found this. We could, match. We both could have hammers.
Spice like blushes and she'll take it from your hands. Thank you, Bubby. I'd love to match.
This hammer is significantly heavier than the other one. And it's not like the other one where it has like this beautiful make. This is like a mass-produced weapon that, definitely they're being pumped out in a factory. They're not perfectly balanced. This individual uses brute strength to swing this thing.
Is it? Oh, nice.
Just without the magma.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Advanced melee. That's gonna be hard for Spice.
Yeah, it's a heavy hammer. So, you find that, no problem.
Level 5.
I think I would start making moves to go
Nice.
back down to the crew quarters through. I'm trying to think of like a way that we can somehow get the jump on him, given what we know from Echo's. I don't know.
Echolocation?
Yeah, I didn't want to. I didn't want to do that.
How did we not use that before? Damn.
I just the
didn't
second you
want
made eye
to. I didn't
contact, I
want
was
to.
like,
That's so
that's
good.
what it is.
Love that. Echolocation.
I love a good pun.
Yeah.
That thing.
Yeah, no problem. So are you asking Echo?
Yeah, it'd probably be like we should formulate a plan of approach.
Yes, that does seem wise.
You gotta plug it in,
Thank you.
transfer the data. Actually, I can do this wirelessly. Give that.
It's a little bit forward of you. Thank you.
Scan it for viruses first. I don't trust Shade.
Heyo.
Got like Norton 2068.
Not a sponsor.
Should sponsor. Plan sounds great.
So Harlax is in one of the shuttle bays, and it is close by if we take the hallway to the northish. North in my brain.
So yeah, once you go down the stairs, you just need to continue to head through the crew quarters.
2D representation.
Yes. As you go through the crew quarters, you'll enter the main corridor on the other side, and off of there, the first entryway on your left should be the shuttle bay door.
Can you? I think I asked this before. Sorry. Can you disable the shuttles from the computers here? There's like some.
You did
things.
ask that, and you did learn that you would need to be either close enough for Shade to do it wirelessly, or directly connect with the shuttle. But the shuttles are not connected to the network of this place.
So can you? How close do you have to be to wireless hack?
20 feet.
And this space is large. The entry to the hangar bay, Echo would be able to tell you, at least 100 feet from the shuttle. At least. And you can't even see the end of the bay from the camera. You just see the edge of the shuttle, so...
Okay, so we drill through the steel of the ship, and then we just, like, burrow our way outside. And then, Shade, you can just pop up, disable the shuttle, and then we do the same thing that we did here, but there, you know? We just need to, like, mole style it.
You see Rose, the petals of her eyebrow kind of ripple at this and kind of rise. And at first, she looks very incredulous, but as you continue to describe your idea, she says, I was ready for that to be not as good as it is. That's not a bad idea.
Creative problem solving is on the top of my resume.
Muvashi, on the other hand, is going to say, there are 7 of us and 1 of him. We should just go.
You've been with Harlax the longest. What makes him the scariest? Why didn't you just kill him through assassination? I mean, you obviously sneaked into his ranks unsuccessfully because you were caught, but why didn't you just, like, take him out with a sniper gun? We saw that happen once.
We need to know where in Siren he's going.
Do you have that now?
We don't need it now,
Why?
because we're killing him. We have the general system. I don't think many more, and she gestures down at the corpses of his former followers, will flock to his banner. Not after this.
Okay, so we've got bust in the door, no surprise, or mole style. I'm taking options for a third plan.
Given what
They
we
all sound
know
good to me.
Yeah.
about Harlax, it seems like he is the type who would look down upon mole style.
Are we looking to impress Harlax?
No.
Impress him enough that he doesn't run, though. If he's staying because he's expecting a challenge, what if we send Bubbles in?
No!
Just like,
No way!
hold on, hear me out. You're intimidating and scary looking, and with a big enough grimace, like, you could distract him while Shade scoot, 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 scoot. Maybe not mole style, but, you know, sneaks in and disables the ship, distracting him with your masculine presence, and we're all there as backup.
I hate that idea.
I don't think that is a wise decision.
Bubs is gonna just blush when you say masculine.
It was a little sarcastic, but that's fine.
He didn't pick up on it.
Yeah, we're good. Okay, no, I'm liking
Definitely
We
not
have
that
the
one.
advantage of numbers. We should use that.
I'm just worried we're gonna burst down the door, have a huge ass hangar to run that's like 100 feet long. Well, I mean, you can get there.
He's waited this long. Why would he leave?
Because, like all good villains, I'm sure he's got some snarky comment to say before he turns his chair and jets off into oblivion. I've read movies, scripts. They come through the junkyard occasionally. Comic books.
I think you do have a point there. That sounds... Yeah, I think you're onto something.
I'm just saying, if he's smart enough and he knows the odds, like, yeah, he's a warrior, but, like, at some point he's gonna turn tail and run, especially if he believes he's got something bigger waiting for him in Sirenscape.
I don't think he's going to run initially, and we can use that to surround him.
What if we split the
disable-
party? We do half and half. Half mole, half...
Well, Mole's gonna take a while.
Okay.
I
Moles needs Bubs.
will tell you this just because Sirenscape is the tool that we use. It is not named after Sirenscape. It is named because the allure of the
Is it
various materials that are
PSY,
there.
Ren?
They call to people to this dangerous environment where almost inevitably they end up dying. So for that reason, it is called Siren. Not because of Sirenscape. I do like that. That's it.
I just couldn't remember
You
the
should
name
sponsor
of
us,
it.
Sirenscape.
Not a sponsor.
We sponsored them.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
It is a mutually
Worried
beneficial.
that there could be like another cave-in? I mean, this place doesn't seem so structurally sound. If we just start go digging around, it might make some problems.
Yeah, I mean, then we could also be like 100 feet deep in the earth and he decides he's bored and leaves. Like, I mean, it's not the greatest plan. Like, it's my plan, but, like...
Given the amount of time that it would take for us to drill through the hull, it would probably be quicker to just go through the door and run.
Yeah. It's just like, my biggest concern is that he's going to see 7 of us and run. Because he also knows that we got Muvashi, and that, you know, Rose Lashwind, obviously, so intimidating. I mean, I'm cool with it. I'm just saying, it's a consequence of our actions. Like, we gotta be prepared for it.
It would be so terrible if he ran.
What if you can move fast, Echo? I saw you over the door.
Yes, I am particularly speedy.
Can you be that speedy with Shade on your back if you piggybacked him?
Echo looks down at their, like, very, like, thin build, and then looks over at Shade.
I do not believe that is wise.
I'm just saying, you've got, like, speed on you, and he's got boots, and if we attach the two of you together,
Rose says,
you could just...
Gibbs, it's a lovely idea, but I think we'll stick with something different today.
Okay. So we just burst down the door?
Tough. Yeah, I guess so.
He already knows we are approaching.
Yeah.
There is no other sneaky way that will apprehend him quickly.
At this point, we're just wasting time.
All right. Storming session completed.
To the door.
To the door.
You guys proceed down the staircase of side corridors and make your way down to the personnel deck 1A. Here, there are a number of open doorways that you've already seen. There is a door with a gaping hole that Bubs has punched in it. But further, through both these spaces, there is a set of double doors that you would imagine leads back into the main corridor, similar to the doors that you entered from. Once you arrive at this place, you can see, again, this door seems to be almost damaged, but as you have persuaded Muvashi to join you, they say, "One moment." They stalk a little further down the hall, and you can see where there is a bathroom. They pry off a little element of the control panel. They come back. They turn, kind of seeing all of you watching them, and say, "There is a simple way to disable these that we can re-enable from any other door. But non-vesk don't know about them." She takes this little device and plugs it in. The power seems to kind of shut off for a moment and then turn back on. The indicator that was locked now unlocked, and you can proceed on. However, looking beyond this, you can see there is this kind of long hallway. Off to the left, there is a huge opening. It's like there is no wall. And Echo, you recognize from the camera angle, the camera is just probably on the other side of the hall. You are looking at the shuttle bay right beyond. Opening this door will almost certainly be heard beyond. However, what I would say is, given the fact that you got that natural 20 and you've seen the schematics of the ship and the actual room itself, and given that you are at a window where you can sort of see into the edge, I will show you a little visual perspective. So
Nice.
I'm actually going to tape the ship. This is too much.
I also...
I got a splinter.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
The tree.
Oh.
I did land kind of.
Should we
I'm going to take this because we don't have space.
take a 10-minute rest before we battle?
You
So-
could have done that while we were chatting, probably.
Here, you guys took a long chat.
Yeah.
If you want, Spice, you weren't really doing very much. If you want, you absolutely could have taken a 10-minute rest.
I didn't need to, but for other people, I'm just saying that that's a...
Can you remind me of the story? So if you spend a resolve point, you can roll what? Stamina or hit
back
points?
to full.
I don't have to use... It's just one of my, like, envoy things. I don't have to use a resolve point, and I...
No, sorry, I was talking about
heal-
short resting in general.
So,
Oh, yeah. Yes, you use
SP back to full.
resolve points
I'm gonna use
to heal
do
all
that,
of your
Echo?
SP.
a resolve point to do that.
Down to 2?
Yeah, unless you got a better option.
I can heal, but then I can't heal you again.
all right. We throw
So,
this combat
Yeah, either way.
I definitely need to be healed for SP.
Yeah, so let me. I've got
So
the
then
extra
take a
resolve
10-minute
point.
rest.
I can program a computer for you.
I can
First.
program a computer.
And then mid-battle. That's
You're
because
not
I can
with
only
us.
use it once per short rests.
But morale.
I'm good. I'm now good.
We
Okay.
want Squeak
Gibbs is
to
full
survive.
stamina now.
So,
And Squeaks isn't with us.
Squeak is not with you guys. So,
With me.
What you can see, none of you are in this room for what it is
Right.
worth. However, what you can see, this big clump of crates, and all of this is tilted slightly to the right. But what are you looking at?
That
over there?
guy's Harlax. The book.
on the cover of
Oh,
just
look
a
at that!
vesk.
That's so nice. It's a vesk miniature that I got from somebody who prints 3D stuff on Etsy. So I couldn't say that was on purpose, but yeah, that is Harlax. I did not get to finish painting them. It was a very busy week, as I already said.
I like that.
Oh, it's
But-
the exact vesk.
And that is Harlax, yeah. So you can see giant pronged weapon that they have. They are massive. They hold a pistol of some kind that is bigger than many rifles.
Oh, I want that prong weapon.
They're tall.
Big boy.
However, they are currently sitting right next to their ship. You had seen them lean into the cockpit in order to utilize the comm system. There's the ruins of another ship kind of off and to the side. You can see areas where the hull has been damaged to the point where actually, at the time of day, you are seeing daylight stream in through thick growth and vegetation. You'd imagine you can't really see this from the sky, but you can certainly fly a ship out of here.
Shit.
You see a number of different crates and things that I would say from this angle you can see are laden with ammunition. There are thousands of rounds of small, long arms, and you even see a couple fuel cells for laser-based weapons. That seems to be maybe this military or this small group's stockpile. But that is what you see.
Guys, if we get that stockpile.
Yeah, where are we on the map?
Oh, sorry. So you see in the very corner near Ari and Kara,
Oh.
right there, that is the hallway that you are entering from. The door is 5 feet beyond the map.
Okay, so we're like just off the map in that
Yes.
corner. Okay.
So if we open this door that we're all standing in front of, we know he's going to hear us.
Almost certainly. You haven't really heard the doors open. Some of them are quieter than others. But that is certainly a concern.
Could I do a perception check to see if the door is trapped?
Make a perception check, yeah.
Was.
A 4 plus, I believe it's 8, so 12.
12. You take a look at this door, and it seems relatively standard. You see elements of the metal that have kind of pitted with time, corroded as the elements in this room especially are a little bit more exposed. But no traps, at least not that you can see. That being said, you don't get a very good look.
Guys, I think it's safe to go through. I mean, I'm not like an expert trap finder, but it looks safe.
Can I do an engineering check to see if the door can be opened quietly?
Make an engineering check, yeah, you certainly can.
I do this by gnawing on the metal, which doesn't work very well because it's a total of
metal's pretty
7.
hard.
Yeah.
You look down, Gibbs, all fours, bent down, head turned to the side, chewing on this metal. You see the tooth like slowly filing itself down, not making a lot of progress.
What are you doing?
Well, I was trying to see how thick and acoustic the metal was. It's very acoustic. I can taste it. All right.
There's like error messages, like just scrolling through.
Yeah, you see everybody who's an NPC make a sense motive check on that because they're not really sure what to make of that.
The Wikipedia page for synesthesia. Like, you taste.
Yeah, it does.
Sounds?
It's yeah. Moving on. Should we just press the button then? Tell me when. Get ready to run, hacker boy, man.
Echo grabs their new microfusion rifle and cocks it and says, "Let's go."
Rose is going to say, if you do want to get closer,
Yes.
running in with weapons will certainly begin a confrontation. Perhaps we approach.
Nice job, Rose.
She reaches up and gives you another high five.
Yes. Guys, put my weapons away. I don't have weapons. Put my cork back on.
I would like to talk to him.
Yeah. Maybe we can get something from him. Let's go, like a surrender. Press the button for the door.
It opens.
Group moves in.
Give me a moment here.
I'm just putting us on the map. Here's Rose.
So, you step into the space. It opens up. Immediately, you're hit with the air, much warmer now that you are closer to the exterior, and humid. The jungle air coming in strong. You smell the vegetation, and looking off to your left, hanging over the ruined section of the floor, here and there are leaves that have fallen. But beyond, or in front of all of those things, you can see, standing in front of their fighter ship, which, just a moment here. I would say... No, none of you off the top of your heads would know about this ship. But
Would I know? I have my pilot background.
make a check using your pilot background. What is that, a professions check, yeah?
Yeah, profession. Right?
Being over here. Guys,
Yeah, I wonder what that
audio.
sounds like. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to watch
In the
back.
comments, what does that sound like?
Yeah. Can you hear Ari peeing under the table?
they keep a litter box back here for me. Me, Gibbs, one and the same.
Really in character.
Yeah.
That is a 29, and the DC is reduced by 5 because it's recalling knowledge about starship and vehicle models and parts.
Shade. You know that this is an Aeronautica Dynamica SAF 200.
Of course.
In terms of, the role that it played, this is a tiny fighter that was produced within the USR. It was meant to be a fighter interceptor. It lost out in a contract bid to another craft, and so a lot of them ended up on the black market. It is a ship that is often used by pirates, often used by bounty hunters. And I would say with that role also, taking a look, just kind of glancing at the
It's
schematic
definitely
that...
been modded. Yeah.
It's been modded. There's definitely been additional armor added to it. But you would imagine this is certainly not a vesk ship. This is stolen. Almost 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, it's GPF.
You do see that it does appear to have some kind of an armament, but from this this section, kind of hard to see.
Okay.
As we enter, does he seem to be aware of us?
Oh yeah, so he has turned to face you.
Wherever you are.
He's sort of leaned up against this ship. He has both weapons in hand.
Found you.
Based
Doing
on
like a Captain Morgan's thing.
what he's looking
yeah.
like, can I get a read on his body language as
Got
to why he's waiting around, what's making him tick in this moment?
Yeah, make a sense motive check.
Thanks.
As you all round this corner, you take a with Shade looking at the ship and you kind of glaring intently at this Vesk's face.
16.
Hard to tell.
That's fine.
They're sort of difficult to read. This so first of all, as you take a look at them in person for the very first time, these scales are like deep red. This is an individual who it looks almost like scabs or dried blood. However, the edges of each scale are incredibly sharp, coming to almost points. He does look very intimidating, and as he glares down at you, he does say, "Bounty hunters, causeless scum, you've ruined my gift to the lost fleet, and do nothing but hasten your own end. I could have left. I could have gone to Siren, but I stayed behind because I want to kill you before I collect the bodies of the fallen. Don't worry, you've earned a soldier's burial too." He kind of steps off the ship and he begins just walking normal pace towards you. Please position yourself. Is this how you are all proceeding on this thing, kind of using this other craft as cover?
Whatever anyone else, I just shoved us all in the map. Put yourselves where you want.
Yeah.
What are these? I imagine this is a chasm going down.
Yep.
Rocks.
And so those are basically just bars of steel that are running underneath, and usually they're probably support structures, substructure beneath the ship. Those you could cross, but it is sort of a balancing act.
Okay.
So is this mini.
Yeah, I wouldn't even try to keep them up. They had a little glue, it didn't work. I repainted it because it took the paint off. They've been a trip, as Harlax.
Oh.
Ooh, look at
There
that.
we go.
Oh, here he comes in his palanquin.
As he
Floats over.
Where would you like the NPCs? Are they just
Truly
chilling
the
behind us?
So Rose is certainly going to stick 5 feet behind you.
Yep. We're best friends.
Muvashi is going to stand 5 feet to the left of Bubs.
Maybe to the left of Bubs. Bubs, where are you then? except yourself.
How high is the ceiling, by the way?
The ceiling looking up about 60 feet up.
Is this ship recognizable? I mean,
what I will say, everybody can roll initiative because that is definitely where this is heading.
yeah, I don't need to.
Okay, so
don't
hold
need
off
to-
on that
yeah.
and maybe ask that if you survive.
Are you going to be on my shoulders? Or?
No, we
I
separated.
guess it was more. I didn't
At
want
some
it to
point,
be
last the fight.
trapped, so that if we're standing next to it, it's.
I'm
like,
just
would've been
carefully
the right thing to
eyeballing
look
you
at,
as
yeah.
far as you're concerned.
As he's walking towards us,
Nice!
does Spice recognize him?
Ooh.
As you see this individual for the first time, not recognizable to you,
Okay.
you don't see any kind of symbology, at least not as he's wearing full armor, and it would be difficult to see. But as far as you could tell, no, not familiar directly. All right, he rolled real well.
Oh.
That never happens for me. That's so nice. All right, so natural 20s, anybody? 25 to 20?
22.
Got a
22.
24.
24, hey. Second and third.
Speedy androids.
Speedy androids. Battle bots. Okay, 20 to 15.
19.
15.
19 for Bubs. 15 for Spice. Gibbs, what are you doing over there?
I got 12 because I'm not very fast.
Oh.
That's okay. It's all good.
The bottle slows you down.
Yeah, that's what it really is.
It really
the bottle.
is, yeah.
It makes
All
you
right,
you.
and so
Yeah.
Rose.
I don't need
who's
to be
gonna roll a
fast though. You
natural
guys
one.
gotta take damage first.
You just
And the
come
NPCs are
later.
going last. 7 and 1.
Nice.
Ooh, one. Who got one?
Yeah.
It was
be
Rose. Yeah, it
Nice,
was
so
Rose.
Rose
Damn,
and
Rose.
Mubashi.
Well, it's
okay.
a natural one. I'm not using their modifier because it's just between them with a 1 and a 7. They're going in that order. So, the way that this works out, Harlax is leading off, followed by Echo, followed by Shade, followed by Bubs, then Spice, then Gibbs, and then Muvashi and Rose leading or taking up the rear. So,
Good thing we're all clustered.
it's a wonderful thing. All right. So, it begins as a few steps, but very quickly it becomes a trot and then a run. He is going to move.
He was like here.
Yep.
10, 20, 30, 40.
He's going to crouch right behind that little box that's open.
I am so close.
Yeah.
Shit.
However, Echo, with your glowing blue eyes, you make a wonderful target, and he knows that this was you who broadcast across. So you will be taking these attacks.
Do I get any cover from that ship there?
You do, yeah.
Yeah!
So
It's not gonna help much!
he pulls out this pistol, and you see for the very first time, similar in construction to the semi-auto pistol that one of you possesses. This seems to be a much more advanced model than the version that you have, unless you guys have given that to the Resistance, in which case, the version they have.
I do.
There you go.
This seems to be a more powerful version of that. The first attack, or actually, we're only gonna get 2 attacks. So the first attack, that is gonna be a 34 to hit.
I don't like that sound. That's a bad sound.
Yeah. Luckily, their firearm is not terribly powerful. That is going to be 14 points of piercing damage.
Fine.
The second hit, that is even better. That is going to be a 30 higher to hit.
Jeez.
And that is going to be another 14 points of piercing damage. Crack, crack. These fire out. You can see he crouches a little bit lower, seeming to almost benefit more from the cover than you would imagine. That is his turn, however. That brings us to you, Echo. But as the turns kind of transition over, he says, "Talk all you want. Now you have to fight." And you can see the pistol is stowed and both hands curl around this massive spiked weapon.
Alright, so we've got. So I'm assuming the cover also is a detriment to me. There's no way I can, like fire over the ship.
You can. So, Starfinder assumes that you can do a basic thing like pew. However, they're benefiting from cover, and for whatever reason, as they are heavily armored and slink down low, perhaps it's combat experience, but they seem to benefit more fully from this cover than half.
Okay. Shit.
You really got behind that box. pretty good.
Yeah,
it's because the lid's open.
That's
it's
what
the
it is.
box.
Yeah, it's the lid.
It's the shadow of the box.
The lid took a perk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vesks are actually related to cats, and everyone knows that hiding in the box is the only protection.
Yeah,
there
he's
is.
actually just crouched into a little ammo container. You see the vest tail swish behind him.
So Echo's going to attempt what Echo always attempts, which is a trick attack.
Yeah, go for it. So that is going to be his.
So Echo's going to. Well, Echo's moving first.
Sure.
To get both good and bad cover.
Excellent. So you swing around, taking a moment to run through. That's kind of when you get hit by these bolts fired from Harlax. As he begins to talk, you slide into cover yourself.
I'm counting.
Oh, okay. So Echo draws their flare gun, and against it's gonna have to be stealth. There's no real computer system around here to make go beep boop.
That is true.
Oh,
Oh,
no!
I felt my leg. It's there.
Does that count?
No.
No.
Okay.
No Jumanjis. You got to keep it on the table.
Great. Really didn't want that to count.
There you go.
Oh,
I don't want
same
that
thing.
to count either. Yeah, that's
the
not gonna
universe
do.
doesn't want
Dice
you to
don't
succeed.
lie. Dice don't lie.
Dice don't lie. That's a 17.
And that has to beat their CR plus 10.
20.
Oh, plus 20? Yeah, no way. Not even a little close.
Dear Starfinder,
Make
This is stupid.
You've done it before. I mean, it's successful.
make maneuvers.
But you still get to attack.
Howdy does. So,
alright, so then I still get to attack.
make your attack.
Okay. This dice isn't happy that I dropped it on the floor. That's a 15.
As you pop up, expecting to see his back, you are staring directly into his eyes. As he grips this weapon, he was not fooled at all by this maneuver. And so you shoot wide, startled for a moment, but duck back down. Anything else?
That's the full turn.
There you go. Shade. What would you like to do? Bubs, you're on deck.
His spiky weapon is very much physical. It's not like an energy beam.
Correct.
Okay.
This is a tremendously heavy, customized piece of gear.
Okay. Cool.
It's not energy like that. It is an actual physical piece of metal. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a scythe, you guys. He's gonna kill us.
Literally, yeah. This is the Grim Reaper that we are fighting.
Great. All right. I'm going to use my move action to initiate my mobility
Okay.
fighting feat. And then I'm gonna fucking pew pew at him a couple times here.
Okay. Make your attack rolls.
Well, actually, just one time because
Make one attack roll. Make one pew.
Oh wait, that's with the new weapon. That is
Matthew.
nothing.
I'm mathing.
I discovered that my sage plant was black this morning. It was an omen.
Oh no, I don't like that.
Yeah, that's not good.
Why you share that now?
Yeah.
That's 19.
A 19. That is a miss.
Whoa.
As you pull up and
It's against the EAC. I don't know if that matters.
still a miss. I didn't ask for a reason.
Okay.
As you level this weapon, you can see this is a laser weapon, correct?
It's the microfusion rifle.
Gotcha. So this kind of pulse of energy fires towards this creature, and as it hits the armor, it seems to almost break across, doing nothing.
Sad times.
Very sad times.
All right, that's me for that turn.
Shade,
there.
you duck back into cover with that ruined shuttle, and that brings us to Bubs. Spice, you're on deck.
I'm gonna turn to Muvashi.
Muvashi, would you want me to carry you and get you closer?
And would she be willing if I lifted her up.
She can't answer, but you see the facial expression goes from like concentration to like almost disgust, and you imagine probably not.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. In that case, I am going to mentally psych myself up.
As you do.
Yeah, and say what happens when an immovable object meets an unstoppable force. And I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then with that speed, I'm going to do a single hammer attack with 10 reach.
Yeah, make an attack roll. Great use of the hammer.
That is 26.
A 26 hits against his KAC.
Yep.
Nice.
And that is D10. Here it is. That is an 8 plus 13. That is 22.
22 points of damage. Damn.
Holy fuck.
Bubs,
21.
you rush forwards.
21.
21?
Yeah, I missed out.
No worries, no worries. So, 21 points of damage. You rush forwards, grabbing this weapon, and as you swing it around, you plant your feet, pivot your hips, and bring all of your might into this swing. It crunches into the armor. You hear the metal shriek and bend, and Harlax shifts maybe 3 inches to the left. You move him, but barely, and you hear him grunt. He's going to burn a resolve point. And he is going to take an attack against you.
Ooh.
Oh, this must be Starfinder's like legendary resistance or some shit.
Yeah.
We haven't had this before.
Similar. Okay. But this huge 3-pronged weapon swings towards you, and that is going to be a 39 to hit.
I was afraid of.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah. So, as the first spike pierces into you, you're aware the force behind it is tremendous. Where are
So
my
you say
D8s?
piercing. It's a piercing weapon?
Correct. You do have resistance
Yep.
of 5 points, I believe.
Yep.
Great. Okay, not bad. You are going to take, I rolled 11, so you are going to be taking 29 points of piercing damage.
Ouch.
This drives into you, and you feel the
Is that
spikes.
before or after the -5?
Sorry, that's before the -5.
Okay.
So take 5 away from that.
Yep.
You feel them pierce, and as they pull away already, your white shirt is beginning to soak with crimson blood. And you imagine if you were to hit you any harder, that would have left a lasting wound. But that is his resolve point action thing there. That is the end of your turn.
Yep.
All right, Spice, you're up. Gibbs, you're on deck.
I'm going to. This is exactly what Spice was afraid of. But I guess it was inevitable. And she's gonna kind of like grit her teeth as she like watches Bubby just get smashed. And she's gonna go, Bubby, hurry! And grant you an extra move action on your next turn.
What a great ability.
Isn't that? Yeah, it's a
Move
good one.
actions are
I don't know
so
if you'll
useful.
need it, but you
Yeah,
know,
I
you
don't know
can do with it what you will.
Yeah.
And then, as my move action, I'm actually going to.
Fuck right out of there.
I'm gonna fuck right out of here because I have a sniper that's no use when I'm this close.
Climb up onto the pile of ammo.
Yeah. I'm gonna come up like around here.
No problem. And this isn't something you need to roll for, as these crates stacked up almost like steps. So
Okay.
you run, your high-heeled boots clapping against the metal. You skid to a stop.
She's like, we found you, and then that's it.
Okay. You don't even see him react to that.
Yeah.
He's very focused on
Don't
Bubs.
even
You hit
hear
him
her.
pretty hard. But that is your turn, Spice. Gibbs, that brings us to you, then our NPC friends.
I do sort of a turn, spinning towards Rose Lashwind, giving her a wink and moving 5 feet. As for the first time, you guys have never seen me do this before, I rake my fingers through like the mohawk behind the ears, down to my armpits, and then back to my groin, and I pull out all of the creepy crawly bugs on me.
Gross.
And I smush them, spreading my hands, making like marionette strings, and I cast the guts of this, casting Haunted Combatant at this guy, diverting a malevolent spirit from the River of Souls to haunt his weapons.
Sure.
All of his manufactured weapons now have a -1 penalty to attack. He can still use natural weapons.
Okay.
And the haunting continues even if on the weapons, even after he dies.
Fantastic.
Wow.
That's really cool.
So you just cursed this weapon.
So you
With
see
bug guts,
this disgusting string of bug guts. First of all, Gibbs, within this like animalistic fur that is matted together in places, you comb your hair, it pulls out chunks of fur, it pulls out these little creepy, crawly things. You pull your hands forward, some of them like spill out, and then, and as you pull this apart, these guts seem to almost scatter into the space. They don't just hit that. Bubs, you feel like little bits of guts on your legs. Echo, same thing for you.
Nope.
But most of it just kind of into the weapon and seems to almost twist into the recesses and disappear.
Can I have a tile, if you don't mind, just to so I remember?
There's an effect.
But I do it to impress Rose, who also uses bugs.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I don't know if that. Yeah.
She shot bugs. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's Gibbs's interpretation of it. It's done with the intention of being impressive.
you can see she's just looking at all these dead bugs in her hand, and she's like, it's maybe
I
not
just-
the same thing. Oh. That is your turn, Gibbs?
Is Buzz bleeding? Bleeding.
Not super bad, but yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Alright.
So, you see just a little bit of blood coming out of these giant wounds in
Right.
Bubs' chest. However, it is Muvashi's turn. So, currently the furthest back, she's going to move behind Shade and continue to move as far as she can towards that far crosswalk.
This one?
Yep.
That's probably
And
good.
she can move, she's going to take a full movement actually, so she's going to try to get behind that boulder if she can.
That's like 20.
Yep, and I'm going to roll for her to cross that. No problem, natural 20. You see, not even breaking stride. Yeah, just gets across there and slides in behind that boulder. That is her turn. She seems to be heading towards the ship. That is going to be Muvashi's turn. That brings us to Rose. You can see Rose kind of focusing on Bubs at the moment.
Yeah.
But for this moment, she's going to take 15 feet of movement to go over to those crates on her right. Yep, and she is just going to hang out there and hold her action until somebody looks like they get really hurt. That is Rose's turn. Oh, no, she's not going to do that because this is the end of the round. What she's going to do instead, she's going to pull out this gross-looking biological weapon, steady her hands, and she is going to fire once at Harlax.
Same thing, right?
Yeah.
Right, guys? Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
There's a
Conceptually,
You see from this
expression.
organic-looking weapon, this tiny insect come out to the front and then fire out. It shrieks as it moves, but Harlax seems to sense this, and Bubs, as you are fighting, he ducks, and between the two of you, just kind of passes right between. She misses. You could hear her just go, damn, and she kind of bends back down. But that is Rose's turn. That brings us to the top of the initiative order. Give me 1 second to look at where everybody is.
I picture the bug in the gun going like,
A little less pleasant. That brings us to Harlax. So, locked in combat with you, Bubs. Everything else kind of flying at him. He is still laser focused on you. What he says is, not bad. Let me show you what a real warrior can do. He takes this huge glaive and he is going to take a full attack against you.
-1, please.
I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
I don't like
the
that.
first one is only going to be a 31 minus 1 to a 30.
Yeah, that hits.
He holds this huge weapon up, and you see from the spikes this weird tendril appear. He doesn't seem to even notice as he brings us down and collides with you. You are going to be taking... I always lose my D8s. And I think I actually... Oh, here we go. 9, 15... you are going to be taking 32 points
Yeah, I'm
of
down.
piercing damage.
Down?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Oh!
Right into the chest. All of a sudden, you watch as these small wounds are completely caved in. The bone cracks, and Bubs, you are down. Somebody wants to just lay Bubs down there.
Sorry, I got it.
That is going to be his turn, though, because he was using that full attack action against you, so that actually works out pretty well. He pulls it out of the wounds from your body, seems to scan the room and Echo. His eyes land on you.
Fuck.
That is his turn. That brings us to you, Echo. Shade, you're on deck.
I have questions.
Yeah.
From Echo's vantage point, can they see, like, some kind of back hangar or door to the ship?
To which? To the ship out there?
The functional ship.
Gotcha. So the functional ship, that cockpit, the glass, slides open to the front and closes. So that is the entryway to the ship. There is no bottom hatch. This is a fighter craft.
Okay.
4 facing guns.
2 forward-facing weapons, yes.
Okay.
These aren't other guns, right? It's just these 2.
Correct. So those are fins on the top. This is a very sporty-looking ship. Oh, howdy. What do you do, Pods? Nice to see you as well.
I think it's what do you do, Pods?
What? Do you do Pods?
What do you do, Pods?
What do you do, Pods?
Do you do Pods?
Great name.
Do you
clearly.
do Pods?
Is opening
They look
the
like
cockpit considered an action?
Yes. You would imagine, as you've never used this craft, it would take an action to like look around and open the cockpit, yeah?
Okay. Echo's going to send out a telepathic message as a swift action
Sure.
to Gibbs, because Gibbs is the closest that they can kind of notice. Or can I do multiple people with telepathic message?
I believe so.
I'm gonna send it out to the entire team. That's still standing. Sorry, Bubs.
Bubs gets it. He just can't really do anything with it or understand it.
I am going for the ship. Take cover when the guns begin to fire. And Echo takes their full movement to get to the cockpit, which gets me right there with 10 feet, and then I open the, not 10 feet, 50 feet, and then I can open the cockpit.
Sure. What I will say, make an, this is an athletics check, I think.
Okay.
Double check the skills, just
get
because you do have to kind of like grab and like leverage yourself to the top of this craft. It's roughly the size of a jet, so you have
Could
to think
it
about it.
be acrobatics if I leap off of this thing?
Absolutely.
Yes.
What a gracious and nice DM we have.
Thank you. I needed that as a 16.
A 16. So all of you watch, you hear this telepathic message, the robotic voice of Echo saying that they're going for the ship, and then the incredible speed of Echo, you would imagine going to leap easily onto the top of the ship.
Do I faceplant?
You leap, catch your foot, and kind of slam onto your knee. You like stumble across. You don't face plant, but it hurts. You pop up, unsure if you can salvage that, but that is what happens. You are on top of the ship.
Echo's just gonna go with the fact that people were probably focused on the giant bashy person in front of them and did not see that.
Yeah, in the clear.
Yeah, good thing you announced it before you did it.
Yeah.
Definitely weren't
Everybody is like, wait, what?
going for the ship. Oh, that
eat
ship.
it.
Okay.
Y'all watched me run through a radioactive chamber. Echo's not concerned. And Echo pops the hatch, and I don't think I can get in because I've used...
Correct, you can't break up your movement. So it slides down. You see gleaming consoles. This has been very well kept. It is certainly an active fighter.
One more question before I end my turn. In the listed actions, it says using a skill is an other action. Mm-hmm. Would a computer's check be another action?
It depends on the skill, and so for computers, trying to do something with the computers, yeah, would almost certainly be an action.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is your turn, Echo. Shade, what would you like to do? You see Echo kind of stumble and then get to the top of this craft.
I'm gonna jump jets, move 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80
Okay.
feet using my move action, my standard action, and then I'm going to wirelessly hack the ship.
Okay. So, as we discussed already, you have the exocortex. Are you using that
Yes.
Great.
I'm using that to wireless hack.
So the first step of wireless hack, are you looking for countermeasures or are you just going for it?
I'm looking for countermeasures.
Go ahead and make a computer's check for your exocortex.
This guy's probably got some stuffs on this.
As you begin to run and move, these holographic images of the data that you see is projected in front of you.
22.
22. As your exocortex begins to navigate behind the scenes and take apart the elements of this computer, you recognize it has pretty substantial. This is a fighter. It's designed for war, and there are certainly electronic war things that are used. There are definitely countermeasures, and amongst them, you get the sense that there's a firewall, there's a self-destruct system. The hull is certainly fortified. That's part of the after-market elements of this, but it seems as if the counter-hacking measures have been fortified as well.
I think that's it for me.
There you go. Shade, you get closer to the craft. That brings us to Bub. Spice, you're on deck.
Can I stabilize my RP?
Yeah, absolutely. So using one of your resolve points, as you are in this dark, dark space, it's almost like you can hear the voice of Steel, this mentor figure to you, just kind of speak out. I don't think you guys have heard Steel talk before.
No, we have.
Said, I'm not your father.
Yeah, that
Video
was
chat
so
when we were in the
intense.
hotel.
Okay, right. You video chatted him, but it sounds as if, or it feels as if he just says, "Not yet." And Bubs, you feel almost like it's not time to move into this darkness, and you stabilize. No
Get
problem.
your ass up.
That is your turn. That brings us to Spice. Gibbs, you're on deck.
So Spice, watched Bubby go down, and then she's like, ah! And so she screams. Oh, wait, no, I can't actually do that. Never mind.
Reaction scream.
Well, yeah, reaction
Reaction
scream.
cry.
Yeah,
Crying is a reaction.
Yeah,
You're always allowed to cry.
so she can't heal stamina points because you're down, I think.
When I stabilize, do I get 1 HP?
No.
So stabilizing is different in this game.
Yeah.
You just don't die.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you have to get you also the kind of important dynamic here is you do have to get HP back to stand back up.
First.
Yeah. Stamina isn't going to do it.
Stamina won't do it, but HP will.
Sorry, I can't help
Yeah,
ya.
so-
You gotta get some of the blood back in.
So what are you doing?
So she's gonna draw her sniper from her back. She's going to aim it and use the little heart-shaped. What is that called?
Laser
Reticle?
sight.
Yeah, the sight. And she's gonna shoot him.
Gibbs, from your perspective, where you are, you see Bubs goes down on the ground. You see blood pooling around the white. And then as you look up, you see Harlax shift over, watch Echo vanish around the corner. And then as he turns, he has this little blue heart just right over his chest. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Please be good. Okay.
Howdy, Role Players Guild.
21.
21. That is against the EAC or KAC?
Great question.
Yeah.
It is. Let's see. Blah blah blah. I'm not sure. How do I find?
What's it called?
What kind of damage does it do?
It does fire and. Let's see.
That's probably EAC.
Probably EAC.
Why can't I see?
It was a 21?
Yeah.
That is a miss.
Oh, it's a miss? So
Minus-
I just miss anyway. It doesn't even matter.
So as you're firing, well, if it's 21, if it's higher than that, it might hit. So with the 21, that is a miss. You fire this
Electricity and fire.
seeking, so certainly ASC. You fire this seeking slug, and as you aim, you get this lock-on message. It fires out. It hits. You see it hit, but it's almost a perfect angle as he turns to threaten Echo that it hits the edge of the armor and ricochets off. Echo, somewhere around you, you hear like the ting, ting, ting of this thing like firing and still moving, but it is a miss. Anything else, Spice?
Nope. I'm gonna stay where I am.
Alrighty, you stay atop this stack of crates. Gibbs, what would you like to do? And then we have our NPC companions.
So it's a free action always for me to do this, but I see Bubs go down, and Bubs, you feel the kind of the suffocating darkness of unconsciousness, but through it, you start to smell a little bit of Gibbsies on you. As Gibbs will take the 5 hit points of the damage you just took and take it to herself. So you heal 5 hit points.
Nice.
And that's a free action for her to do that. You feel the lifelink ability activate.
As you do that, I'm like kind of in this headspace, and I imagine Bubs kind of thinks of like the ship as kind of like one of those like 3-camera sitcoms, like Full House.
Okay.
And it's like, you know, Kara, the mom, Shay, the dad, and like he's walking down, you know, the living room, and they're talking, they're arguing about something, and to Bubs it's just like, yeah, this is a great life. I have such a great life. He looks out the window, he sees the girl next door, Spice, and then through like a small ripple, like a void, like a black void rips down the middle of the living room of this Full House stage, and then Gibbs' hand pulls right through, and Bubs grabs it and walks right through it, and now he's awake again.
And as you step through this tear in this weird subconscious sitcom that you have,
You see the tear of Gibbs's butthole because
Yeah.
she's standing over you. So I move over Bubs, kind of barring my teeth at Harlax. And I am going to hold a spell.
okay?
Just sort of being.
You do know
aggressive.
holding a spell does use the slot.
Yes.
Okay.
So the trigger is if he attacks the ally or myself, really.
Okay.
Like,
If he attacks a friendly party. no
yeah,
problem.
he's gonna do it. So I'm not worried about losing it.
Not a problem.
But I am going to stand possessively over Bubs and wait for that to trigger.
No problem.
It's fine.
It's always
Spice knows
possessive.
it's in good, you know.
That brings us to Mavashi's turn. This Vesk ally that you have rescued runs up to the cockpit of the ship, but then looks up and sees Echo already there. She looks up and goes, similar idea. But she's going to draw the weapon that you've lent her, and now she's going to turn because somebody's already doing that, and she's going to fire at Harlax.
Nice. With the injection pistol.
And you see this little dart wide in the air as she rolls a 2. And this doesn't even get close. She curses and just goes, it's not my fault, it's the weapon. And she starts like trying to fix it. That is going to be her turn. That brings us to Rose. Rose is going to take
Right here.
No, that's
that's
Muvashi.
Muvashi.
Yeah, she's right here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, just moved her.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet right up to Bubs and you.
Yep.
And bending down, she's just going to put her hands over you. And again, it's almost like this of pollen, this glowing, beautiful dust that settles into the wounds and almost visceral. It's an uncomfortable feeling. It's like your chest crushes itself back together and like pops back out a little bit.
Ouch.
You are going to take, certainly, yeah. You're going to get 6 points of health back,
Nice.
HP.
Nice.
As that settles in, she looks at you concerned. But that
Gibbs has blood streaming down her cheeks from her eyes.
Ooh,
Just
I like
at
that.
this point.
Yikes.
Just so Rose can see. Gibbs is
Okay.
also not doing well, but that's fine.
Yeah, she turns and she's definitely looking at you. So that seems like you've caught her attention, but that brings us to the top of the round. And that brings us to Harlax.
Oh, the squishy people.
Yeah, we're all sitting ducks.
Harlax, as he turns and watches Echo just dart away, comes to this vision of 3 people all sort of lined up perfectly. Shade, you see for a moment his eyes dart to your right. And as you look to your side, there's this
running.
fuel cell.
Oh shit.
He pulls out what looks like a metal cylinder with a single red button on the top.
I thought that's what that
You hear predictable. Go ahead and make a reflex save. Shade, Muvashi, and actually, Echo, you are ironically out of range.
Oh,
so-
wow, nice.
Nice.
reflex save.
You're so fast, he does it when you're there, but you're gone by the time he triggers it. Yeah.
Just give a blur.
Oh,
Blue-eyed blur.
The blue-eyed blur.
Like that one.
Super name.
28.
28, okay. Muvashi.
It's both.
Ooh, Muvashi does not roll quite as well. So, this there's this moment where you hear this and nothing happens, and then there is this as this fuel cell detonates. Shade, you are going to be taking half damage.
Jump jets out. Take a hit.
You're not
Down?
No, you're not.
No.
Shade.
No, but reflex save.
You take 24 points of fire damage, halved
Halved?
to 12.
Okay, cool.
As you see this happen, there is that you instinctively dive to the side, managing to avoid the majority of the debris, but it still scorches you and hurts. As you turn and look, as like the sound rings in your ears, you look up and you can see Muvashi is down. Already not having a ton of health. They are down.
This is gone, right?
Yeah.
And Echo, you can see this Vesk who is on top, ready to fire at your enemy, suddenly just get blown off their feet and they skid right at yours.
Can I resolve my held action? Because
Yes,
that was
you can.
definitely
You
an
absolutely
aggressive.
can.
I need Harlax to make a will saving throw, please.
Okay.
As I cast my mind thrust at the first
I
level.
love mind thrust.
Pop his brain!
So it's not going to be this. We'll see.
That is a will save?
Yes, please.
What if he has a very weak will?
25.
Then he still takes half damage,
There you go.
Nice.
which is 14, so 7 damage.
Not bad. Hey, every bit counts.
Yeah, as his attention's sort of pulled away, and I say, "You're watching the wrong ones," and I just sort of grin up at him fiendishly.
Okay. There's this click, this explosion, and then you hear, as he's like still turned away, him just kind of go, ugh. He looks around and then turns, sees your grinning face. You say that. No problem, Gibbs. Anything else?
Nope, just gonna cry blood.
There you go. That's going to bring us to Echo. So, Echo, you saw Harlax detonate this thing over by them. He doesn't look to be trying to flee in any way. And I think especially with Gibbs saying that, it seems like he probably has a new target. But what would you like to do?
Echo's gonna get in the cockpit.
Sure.
Does it seem like this is that Echo would need to hack the computer in order to get it running?
Almost certainly. So yeah, this is a military craft and it is locked.
All right. Echo's going to attempt to check for countermeasures to evade them.
Sure, make a computer check.
So many tabs.
You need a dice garbage can.
I do.
Good thing I have
It
one.
would need to be
Yeah.
big too, because you
Yeah.
have a lot of them.
I have so many. 19.
19.
Yeah.
With a 19, you were able to detect that there is a firewall, and even just that, a little too hard for you to get through. In the moment of combat, all of this stuff was happening. You slide in just as there is this an explosion behind you. Your thoughts are racing and hard to focus at this moment. You would need to try again. That being said, you do not trigger any of the more offensive countermeasures, including a self-destruct system.
Okay.
Anything else?
I'm debating if that's a question. All right, so that's my action. I assumed I would succeed. How much hubris can I have for one turn?
You guys are relatively low level attacking military craft. Yeah, it's a tough one.
Attack.
I can't. That was my action.
Ugh.
Yeah, I can't break up my movement. I'm already in the craft. There's not a whole lot I can do. I guess that's it.
There you go. And Echo, for what it's worth, you now sitting in the seat, as you lean back, you have full cover in this position.
Echo doesn't feel like this is a good thing.
It is a thing, and I wanted you to be aware of it.
Thank you for my thing.
Shade, what would you like to do? Bubs, you're next.
Don't really care. She's not a member of the crew, so we're just gonna jump jets up to here and confer with Echo.
Sure. So over top, you look down.
Do you need help?
I do require assistance. The firewall is giving me
I've
some
got
trouble.
this help with the combat, and then I'm gonna hack with my action and with my wireless hack.
Okay, no problem. So make the first attack, or make the first roll for computers.
And I guess I'm disabling the
Yep.
various countermeasures.
And the firewall is really the one that you need to get by to continue
be
onward
able to
and
do,
see what
yeah.
the nodes are of this
Yeah.
craft.
All right. First one's gonna be a 25.
A 25. That is just enough. With Echo's help, as you connect with this, you can see elements where almost like you can see there's technique that has been used, but also like a lot of like rushed brute force. You can see the beginnings of this path, and you use that to pick up where Echo left off. And very quickly, you pull apart the firewall and manage to see beyond the nodes that would allow you to activate this ship and use some of its systems.
Okay. Then I guess as my standard action, I'm going to continue that process to enable the ship so that I can get us to a point where we can, like, lift off and shift to fire it at them. Or,
So I would say, I believe, just to...
Like an EMP or something.
I would say it is probably a standard action to activate an item, and that's what you're doing, is activating a starship.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you don't need to roll for that.
Cool.
Shade, you reach down. All of you in the space just hear this, and as this engine kicks up, kind of initiating these thrusters, even in a neutral stance, lets off a lot of flame. You see, Shade, actually, you smell, as you kind of look down, the feet of Muvashi beginning to kind of burn and scorch.
Not a member of the team. Don't really care.
So,
Fire cares.
for what it's worth, the ship is on. You take a quick scan of the controls. So that you are able to do things with this ship. It is a tiny interceptor. The speed is 10. The maneuverability is perfect, which means it has a turn of
So
0.
I can just rotate it.
It turns on a dime.
Great. That's all I really need to know.
You also probably want to be aware of the fact that it has weapons. It has a gyro laser that is mounted forward and a light EMP cannon that is mounted forward as well.
Okay. Nice. I like these things.
There you go. Anything else, Shade?
That's movement, standard action, exocortex. I think that's it.
There you go. That brings us to you, Bubs.
As Bubs like pulls himself into reality and like grabs Gibbs's hand and like steadies himself, and he like kind of like finds his hammer next to him as he like does like a pat down, like, where's my stuff? He looks up at Harlax and he looks him dead in the eyes and he says,
Am I too close, or do you need a breath mint?
and then I swing my hammer up and do like an uppercut with the hammer.
Phenomenal. Go ahead and make an attack roll. First of all, he's turned away from you, so you start to say this, and he's like turning around, basically just to be like, "What?" And he gets like, potentially nailed with his hammer. We'll see.
And I'm gonna do not a full attack, just a single attack.
Sure.
Because I don't think I'm gonna get it. A 3 plus 10.
no.
13.
Bummer.
That is going to be a miss. That's a big miss, Chief. As you are attacking at melee range, he is going to use one of his other
No!
Damn.
take an attack against you.
Does Bubs get any cover from the fact that I'm over him? I don't know why the minis were moved, but he didn't stand up.
Not really. He said that he took your hand and came to his feet, so certainly not. However, that is going to be above 30 to hit, which I believe hits. So I was looking at the craft. I gotta go back to Harlax. That is going to be a
That's gonna be a hit.
36 to hit.
Yeah.
Alrighty. D8s. You are going to be taking... Ooh.
Get you down again.
Yeah, certainly. 36 points of piercing damage.
I'm down.
You swing up with this hammer, and as he turns around, very quickly, has to dodge to the side. He smiles. You see the vesk teeth, dragon-like, sharp, jagged, and serrated on the inside, grin. And he takes this weapon in his hand. You can hear the bones pop as he tightens the grip. And he says, "This suits me just fine." Hits you dead in the chest, exactly where he hit again. And immediately you feel the lights go out. The sitcom music begins to play.
Punch!
That is your turn. That is going to bring us to Spice. Spice, you watch as Bubs goes down again.
So she like screams in pain as her heart breaks again. And she's watching as this ship activates and like is starting to turn, and she's thinking maybe her team should get the fuck out of the way, away from Harlax for now. And so she's gonna scream to Gibbs, "Hurry, get out of the way, they're gonna fire! Take Bubs with you." And then grants you hurry.
Yes! Thank fucking God. My entire turn depended on you doing that.
Well done.
But you
Read
I
your
didn't wanna tell you
mind
that.
telepathically because
Good
I
new
also
meta.
am a Lashunta.
Yes! Yes! Sorry. Teamwork!
So, anything else, Spice?
No, she's just like clasping her hands, praying that this works.
And that transition us perfectly. Gibbs, you are up.
Feeling hurried and kind of like locking eyes with Spice over Bubs, she gives a quick nod to you, but runs and does not take Bubs with her.
Okay.
But uses her move action to climb and scamper up on here. Kind of, you can see the tail coiled with like fear and anxiety, and says to Harlax, "You keep hitting him. He's the wrong target." But then spends, so that was her move action, the extra move action, spends her full action, 30 feet, can heal Rose, Bubs. Oh, started my turn.
So a full action, I believe, incorporates your move action.
But I got a double move action.
Right.
That's why my whole turn depended on it.
Cool. Super, super.
So 5 HP to you at the start of my turn when I move away from you for my life link, of which now the blood is starting to pour from...
All the orifices.
Yeah, all of like, even like a little bit of the ears got some blood going, as I take hella damage. But then pulls the ball around, familiar motion, and I can get Muvashi as long as I'm on this rock.
Nice.
So I will do...
Feet are burned off.
Yeah, well, I care.
Not a member
Shay
of the
doesn't
crew.
care, I care. I give a fuck about
Not a
this.
bounty, not a member of the crew. Don't care.
So, healing. Y'all get healing, bitches.
Classic.
8
Cares so much.
plus 8. So 16 points to Rose, Bubs, myself.
16?
Yeah.
What?
So that's, but can't stabilize.
And Muvashi also gets 16?
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Because I'm within
That
30
is
feet and she's an
amazing.
ally as far as Gibbs is
Phenomenal.
concerned.
That's great. So all of a sudden you hear, ah! She looks down, her feet are on fire.
Oh my God.
From the wash of this jet engine.
And I'm
But-
going to taunt Harlax with my movement.
Okay.
Taunting him to step away from the squishy the squishy people to this rock that I'm on, looking as intimidating as possible, despite the fact that Gibbs is shitting herself right now.
I love the Gibbs
Mr.
banter.
Lampert.
Yeah.
She's always
So shaking, you issue this challenge. That is your turn. That brings us to Muvashi. Still screaming, she's going to roll off the engine, off and onto the ground. And she is probably just going to roll her way as close as she can get to the open crate that's a little bit further because she's on fire.
15.
I'm going to say that puts out the flames.
Yeah.
But she just is dropping, rolling, and screaming.
Stop, drop, and roll, kids.
Yeah, no, it's an important lesson.
Don't
That
get
is her
down
turn.
Right in the line of the
Rose
jet
is also going to. Rose is going to look over at you, Gibbs, and just go. She bends down and she's going to start dragging Bubs away.
nice.
She's going to drag Bubs 15 feet back behind the shuttle as far as she can. Yeah, so as far as she can. Grabs the big legs of this human that is probably twice her size. She is a creature of plants. You hear the vines strain as she pulls, but she does manage to move you. That is her turn. That brings us to the top of the round and to Harlax.
No.
That's okay. Gibbs is there.
So luckily, Rose took the body. I'm playing both of these characters. I don't know why I'm luckily. Okay, so with his original... I ruined my own plan by not thinking about it as two separate people. So looking... 5, 10, 15, 20. Gibbs.
Yeah.
They scan around and their eyes lock on you.
Yeah.
Come here. And he goes over to you. He's going to cross over.
We're on this rock, so we're eye to eye for the first time ever. I do not look small. I'm on this rock.
He is going to attempt to grapple you.
No.
We're fine. We're good. Gibbs is so good. I'm on this rock. We all get it.
You have a chance. That was not a good roll.
I don't know what I need to do. I'm sorry. I've never been grappled.
You don't need to do anything quite yet. Hang on
Okay.
1 second. So one of the things about grappling that is very different than D&D, it's hard
Yeah.
in Starfinder, and I believe I just have to look and see what the it's what is your KAC?
Oh, it's small. Hold on. It's 14.
I believe it's -8 for a grapple.
Yeah, 14, and that is going to be a That is going to be a 13. So in this
That's
brief...
the difference between that shitty armor you just
Yes,
gave us
yes,
and
yes,
the not
yes.
and the armor that I came with.
Yeah, it's almost like that matters. So in this brief
Shit.
instant, as he rushes over, as scared as you are, there is a burst of adrenaline. Part of this is because as Spice shouted to you, there was this pulse of fear. And so you're feeling just extra fast. He swings, kind of reaching his arms around, still holding onto his weapon to scoop you into a bear hug, and you just slide right underneath. He grabs air, turns, and just kind of growls. But that is his turn. He does have hit and run. Yeah, that's going to be his turn. That brings us over to Echo. Echo, from your vantage point, as you swing this craft around, or sorry, as you, where are you over here?
In the cockpit.
In the cockpit. So, are you turning the craft, or what are you doing here?
It is your
Yeah,
turn.
I'm the one turning the craft. I'm still in the cockpit.
Okay. So you lean on the controls, and as this ship begins to backburn around, you watch as Muvashi, having rolled out of the way, is now directly in the wash of your jet. You basically just flamethrower over her.
Isn't it this way?
I assumed you were turning in the way that is going to bring you.
Is this the
Echoes?
front?
Yes.
Yeah, Echo's turning towards Harlax.
Yes. And so that left-hand jet is just right across.
So Gibbs, I'm so sorry about all the goodwill you were trying to engender with us.
It was
Not a member
technically
of the
free
crew,
goodwill
not a
because I
bounty.
healed everybody.
As you
matter.
turn the craft, you can see Gibbs and Harlax, the most unlikely of pairings, locked in this melee combat. You see Bubs, his hands as he's dragged unconscious behind the craft. What would you like to do?
Oh God.
No, please.
I got 2 words
Gibbs
for
heard your
you.
warning. It made her choice.
Pew. Pew.
What?
Gibbs,
No!
Gibbs sort of figured it out. Gibbs is smart enough.
Echo shouts to Gibbs
Yeah.
and says, "It would be prudent for you to duck."
Yep.
And attempts to use the ship's guns to fire on Harlax.
Oh my god!
No.
1 second.
Which one?
But what if it hits Gibbs?
Gibbs is
This
smart
is
enough
a
to know
fighter.
Yeah.
This is a really good fighter. I'm hoping it's precise.
So this is something, there's 2 weapons. You can use either of them. But the first one is it's called a gyro laser. I would say you have a rough idea as to how it works, so it's not like a mystery to you. You certainly have range in this room for everything. It does fire in a broad arc. That is what gyro means. So you would imagine everybody in front of the craft will be struck by that. Your other option, unfortunately, is an EMP weapon, which likely not doing a whole lot of damage against that organic creature.
Correct. It would hurt me more than it would hurt him.
Certainly. So what are you doing?
Make a choice.
How much does Gibbs weigh?
Gibbs is small and also emancipated, so not much.
Emaciated?
Emaciated.
Emancipated.
She's been free.
Error messages?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't know, 30 pounds maybe, 40, like a big cat.
Yeah. Like a really big cat.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like very. It's her shit that weighs more than her.
What are you trying to do?
Some shenanigans.
Yeah. What are the shenanigans?
As a swift action, I have Psychokinetic Hand, which can move an object of 10 pounds or 1 bulb.
Not under 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Could I, yoink the bulb on Gibbs' back since it's attached to Gibbs?
Unfortunately, Gibbs keeps it really well attached. This is established canonically. It would be basically
We're one and the
impossible.
same.
I'm
to remove
hoping
it.
to, push the bulb because as it is well attached,
Yes.
if I push the bulb, it might unbalance Gibbs enough to make her fall off the rock.
That will not work, unfortunately.
Shenanigans.
We're one and the same, unfortunately.
Anything else, Echo?
That's all the shenanigans I can move from here,
There you go.
unless I want to spend... Can 2 people occupy the cockpit?
Yeah, there's a back seat to this. This is a
Can 2
2-seater.
people fire the guns?
It would be awkward, but yes.
It's that scene in Ghost.
Yeah, basically, you'd have to reach around and operate some.
I can wireless.
So
into it, right?
romantic.
Could, but why would you if you have that chance?
I know.
Yeah.
We're androids, we don't care. Mission objective. Echo, again, uses some free action to confer with Shade. Unfortunately, I will need you to fire the weapons. Preferably the gyro laser.
I can do that.
And Echo is going to attempt to shoot the rock that Gibbs is on to unbalance them enough to get them off the rock.
Okay.
It's a
Certainly.
rock.
It's a broad laser.
Make an attack roll.
It's a semi-auto tactical pistol. There's
Oh,
no-
okay. So you're firing with the pistol.
Oh,
Gotcha.
out the
Still
window.
not-
I thought you were using this broad
I'm
gyro
sitting
laser.
here like this, like this dude is gonna fire
Phenomenal.
the gun, so I'm gonna save Gibbs as much as I can.
So your
Yeah.
ship turns around, Muvashi, you hear this scream, and then as you see all of this happen, you rotate it back slightly because you have to aim out the side of the cockpit. So to do so, right back against Muvashi.
do not care.
Torched at this point. However, go ahead, make your attack roll.
That's now pointing that way.
Perfect, I like that, thank you.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
That's an 18 on a boulder.
18 on a boulder, certainly hits. Roll damage on that.
Which one is gonna be the good one? It's you on the boulder. You choose the color.
Oh, that one. Oh,
Okay.
just kidding. No,
We will take the similar
This one.
color.
No,
that one. Okay.
Yeah. No, I didn't want the silver color because I've seen you fuck up with that one too many times. Roll that one.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Now we gotta
Whenever
find
you're
the-
ready.
Just do it.
It's gonna have to be the pink one because I can't find it.
Oh, I see. Nice.
Not good.
That's a 1.
Ooh.
Plus a what?
Plus no.
So,
3
crack,
damage.
you hear the sound of a pistol discharge. Pew! Kind of bounces off the rock. You see a deep chip out of the stone. But that's a relatively small weapon against a relatively large thing. Great hit, though.
Echo hates their life.
No problem. That is a free action.
No problem.
That brings us to Shade. Shade, as you are in this ghost moment, what are you doing?
I have like pretty much full control of the ship.
Yeah, relatively speaking, as much as you would, a normal ship.
I kind of want to try to fly it like it's facing this way now, right?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to try to like boop, scoop, and just like fly it into him. and
Sure.
avoid hitting.
You could
Gibbs,
certainly
and
try to
like,
do that.
Knock him into here.
Okay, yeah, so you're going to try to knock him into the jungle below, essentially. Cool, no problem. Make a piloting check first.
Okay.
This is how we don't get the bounty.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
But we all live.
Gibbs
so,
will
like,
survive. She's got stamina points. She doesn't have HP.
ooh, piloting?
What's it?
What you got?
34?
Damn. In this incredibly tight space with debris all around, those areas of the ceiling, scrap metal that hangs down like metallics, vines almost. But even with all of this, Shade, you are able to deftly maneuver this fighter craft around, even from the back seat, literally being a backseat driver. And as you do, you tilt the craft deep forward and begin to move. I'm going to say, because this is not technically something that is like a rule, I'm going to give them a reflex save.
Okay.
It was a 34.
Should I take one as well, or?
No, we're going to get to that in a second.
Yeah, I'm thinking like,
Okay.
try to like...
Go ahead and make a reflex save now, Gibbs.
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
So
That one.
you go forward, and as you do, you see this moment where Harlax like rises up over this like cowering Gibbs, pulls out this huge weapon, and you see behind you as he looms over top the silhouette of this fighter craft coming forward. He smiles and he says, "Everybody's time comes." As he raises up his hand, Shade dips a little too low and scrapes both of you off the side.
Oh my god.
As the ship buckles in, it scoops you with the nose, and suddenly you and Harlax are falling. As you through the elements of jungle below, suddenly you see that you are in fact within the canopy of this jungle. There's a 100-foot fall to the ground below.
Do I still have movement in the ship?
Can't break up movement.
Well, I mean, like,
It was already
continuous
turned.
movement.
I would say you've turned. That would to go down there. You have to turn again, move out. I'm gonna say that's probably the end of your turn. It was a good job, but what I will say is, if you want, you can take the ship and move it closer to where you are.
Okay. So
and then you can turn it so that it is now facing the correct direction.
Can we not fire whilst?
Yeah,
Remember
'cause-
that ship is the size of the one
Right,
on the
so
paper.
it's like-
it can't go down that S. You're
Right.
gonna have to go out and then down
right.
and around.
So it's like here.
yeah,
kinda,
that makes sense. Yeah,
trying to.
loop back in.
So is that
On the start of your next turn, if you want to make a piloting maneuver to try to do like a backflip down, you certainly can.
okay? I'll probably do that. So, is that my action to move the ship?
It was an attack essentially. So
Okay.
yeah,
So do I still have a move action? I don't.
if you would
This
like
is
to get out,
uncharted territory.
if you would like to
here.
get out of the ship to take your move action separately, yes, you certainly could.
Phew. Can you pilot the ship?
I can pilot the ship.
I'm jumping out to try and catch
As the
it.
ship begins to get right towards the edge, and you can see the daylight coming closer and closer, the vines all hanging down, filtering soft green light through. Shade turns to you and goes, "Can you pilot?" You say yes, and he goes, "Cool," and leaves. The ship's still moving, like
eject.
still like full speed moving out. The cockpit's still open. You guys never closed it, so
Yeah,
you just like
so I
jump
just like
out.
basically unbelt and just like drop straight down to try and catch Gibbs.
No problem. You shape yourself for maximum speed, and you begin to fall
This
as well.
feels familiar.
Everybody now plummeting towards the ground below, with only Echo as your sort of last-ditch effort to catch you. However, that is your turn, Shade. That brings us to Bubs.
Okay. Probably because I'm faster than Shade, I'm going to use a run action to get 6 time movement.
Okay.
Jetpack, so that gives me 120 feet of movement to just run down and pick up Gibbs.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
And as I do it, I'm going to flash back to when I was.
Have you
passed
been
out.
healed again?
Yeah, I've been picked
5
up.
health
5 health.
Yeah.
Right.
All the
Dang,
time.
So
Plus also
important
the
was that.
additional.
plus the 16.
Yeah. I'm going to flash back to Gibbs's paw reaching out of the black void in the sitcom Full House like vision of my mind.
I'm just picturing like da da
Yeah.
da da da.
And I'm going to just reach out and grab her.
Sure. So descending down, first you and Harlax are going. He turns to you, everything whipping by you, leaves, trees. You can see the canopy or the floor below rising to meet you. And you can see Harlax turns to you and just says, "We'll die together then." And then suddenly
No.
you see Bubs just rocketing towards you. He reaches down, and as you go to grab his hand, he is going to take a last-ditch effort to grab onto you to thus save himself.
Cool. I would like to do something at the same time as him. As he says that, and I know it to be true before I see Bubs, and we're sort of like in this space together, I cast the familiar spell of Mind Link.
Okay.
And I send the sensation, Harlax and I, and Gibbs's like enormous capacity for empathy of the resistance back home and that sensation of like not knowing what you're doing, but knowing you believe in what you're fighting for, and that this is scary, and she sends the image that she saw of Harlax being this like mighty awesome warrior, and she is just like, the message she sends is like, it would be an honor to die next to you, Harlax.
Okay.
And she just sends that over the link, like understanding that every choice she's made this entire battle up to this point was to protect her friends, and she has done that, and she is falling, and she is gonna take that companionship with her to her grave, understanding that like he is doing exactly what she would do if she believed in this situation as much as he does.
Make a diplomacy check. Take a +4 conditional modifier to that.
16 plus 9 is 25
Okay.
plus 4.
You thrust into his mind with this tremendous amount of empathy, being able to defeat the sheer willpower of this creature. You overwhelm the mental defenses that he has. You flood him with this information, and as you are plummeting to your death, you don't really catch his reaction, but it feels pretty genuine.
He's crying a little.
You just hear, "Aw." No, but you don't quite catch his reaction.
Fine.
That
feels
is
better.
that is what you do as this is happening.
Yeah.
He is going to attempt to grab onto
And that's
you.
fine.
Not to bring you down, but mostly to save himself.
That's fine.
As a hug.
Yeah. Gibbs is at peace with the situation. She planned. This was the inevitability.
What is your KAC?
14 still. Both of them are 14.
14. Bubs, go ahead and make a reflex saving throw. As you grab onto Gibbs, success, no problem. You grab onto the hand, but suddenly there is this tug as Harlax hangs on as well, and the weight is
A
tremendous.
9.
The fingers slip off.
What?
9 is not a lot. Suddenly, Gibbs, you continue to plummet. I have to do quick math here. Math finder. At this point, you are falling an additional 40 feet. Your momentum has been broken somewhat, and so probably not a fatal fall, but you may wish it was. We'll see. That is... Bubs, your turn?
I believe that's my entire turn.
I'm still
before I-
falling too, right?
Correct,
all
but you're way up compared to them. He used a jetpack to propel himself to catch up.
I use my jump jets.
Little different than a jump pack.
Follow the style, though.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
It's Toy Story.
That is going to bring us to Spice. Spice, all of your companions either dive off of the side of this ship or are kicked or knocked off in some other way. Everybody.
You rose in a burning Mubashi.
You turn, you see like Echo like piloting the ship away from you as well. It's just you and Rose and Muvashi. Muvashi is unconscious. They could be dead. They are smoking. They took a lot of damage. But yeah, what do you want to do, Spice?
Do I have any gear that, like, rope or something?
I don't have your character sheet. You'd have to tell me, but I don't think so.
It's not as given as it is in D&D.
I don't
They're
believe
not
you
just
do.
like, here's your
Something tells
backpack with
me-
your stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't have taken
Your mom doesn't pack you a little kit to start out
Adventures
with.
bag.
Yeah, no, she don't got that. Well, I'm for sure, first things first, she's gonna go over to the edge here
Okay,
and watch people fall, basically.
sure. So you watch just as Bubs like grabs Gibbs and then Muvashi. Harlax grabs Gibbs and the grip is just torn away.
Oh, you know what she's gonna go? She's gonna, like, glare at Rose and be like, save them with your vines!
Okay. Sure, so being a little bit racist is a free action.
Being a little bit racist is a free action.
Okay, so is that your turn, Spice?
Yeah.
There you go.
She
Gibbs.
just watches.
Took her turn with Harlax's turn.
Okay, fantastic.
So I'm good. We're good. We're
That
falling.
brings us to Muvashi, no problem. Rose.
No problem.
Rose is going to run over
Oh, so
to
Bubs
where
is here.
you are. Yeah, run over to where you are, Spice. As you yell to do something, you can see she glares at you, the petals like furiously shifting as she says, "We don't work like that." Looking down,
Fuck.
there's not a
Sorry.
whole lot that she can.
Rose Lashwind uses fine whip.
Super effective.
It's not very effective.
Damn it.
Yeah, there's literally nothing she could do. She looks up. Are you hurt at all?
No.
Yeah.
Dude, I have taken nothing.
Yeah, so she's going to hang out here and wait to see what happens. That is top of the round. It is Harlax's turn.
Harlax took his turn with us.
This is the top of the round, though. So,
Falling happens at the top of the round too.
yeah.
Fuck.
He falls an additional 30 feet. I'm going to say, just to make this a little bit easier, it's a 10-foot difference. He's going to fall to the ground. So that is going to be some damage. Luckily, broken up quite a bit by Bubs stopping your momentum for a second. Although not a lot for him. 13. That's a lot of damage. This is more damage than I think you guys have done.
Yeah.
No, not quite as much. He is going to
We
take...
use the weapons that are available to us.
Not a plan.
Gravity.
Yes.
Oh, the gravity gun.
That is 18 points of damage as he slams into the ground. I'm going to say that is also going to incorporate his move as he is just completely winded by that. But shakily, he is going to climb to his feet on the jungle floor below, kind of looking up, completely dazed by this. It is daylight, softer here with the canopy overhead, but you are outside in the hot Tashen air. That is Harlax's turn. Echo. Still in the craft, what would you like to do?
Can Echo land on Harlax
You could certainly try.
and just, like, crush him?
You can certainly try, yeah. So your movement in this craft, you have plenty of speed to get there. What this is going to come down to, as you are now trying to land on a creature who is amongst other creatures, is really your precision. So first, please make a piloting check.
I haven't used you at all this session.
It's gonna feel neglected, but we'll see.
You're the one. You're the champion.
Don't say one.
Shout out.
Ugh.
Not a 1, technically.
It's not a 1. It's not a 1.
Fucking called it.
It's a 14.
Gibbs is gonna die because you guys are bad at this.
Okay.
I'm bad at piloting.
I'm good at piloting, just not today.
34.
Shade, you are further back than everybody else. So you feel the momentum. You actually spin as Echo puts the craft into a dive towards this jungle floor. Rockets down towards everybody who is not Spice. Please make a reflex saving throw.
Also me?
Yeah. No, not you. Sorry. You are. This is the benefit to you being a little slower than everybody
Plastic bag just gets jostled.
19.
19, great.
13.
13, less great. So, you are hitting them with a spaceship.
I wanted that spaceship.
Could have survived the fall. Can't survive
I
the
wasn't
spaceship.
gonna crash it, I just said land it.
Oh, you got so lucky. Out of a possible 50 points of damage,
Uh-huh.
Gibbs,
Yeah.
you're taking 23 points of bludgeoning damage.
Still alive.
Gibbs, you're taking half of that. So that is 11 points of bludgeoning damage. As suddenly, from the greenish, bluish canopy overhead, this ship rockets down. Echo, at the last moment, you realize you're going to crush everybody. So you yank on the joystick, pulling the craft up just at the nick of time to collide with all of your friends and not crush them to death. You feel it's like you're going through and just hitting a variety of animals with your car.
Wow.
And you are taking off. Now in the jungle with a fighter craft moving very quickly. There are huge trees that make this an almost impossible task. Next turn is going to be very interesting.
So to be clear, I didn't just land on Harlax.
No.
I was not able to do that.
You did deal 23 points of damage to Harlax as he failed that as well, which is a significant amount of damage.
Nice. Okay.
That brings us to Shade.
How far from the ground am I?
So you, with 20 feet of movement down, would still have 80 feet between you and the floor.
movement down.
40 feet of movement down, 60 feet.
Okay. And I'm still falling as a free action.
Correct.
40 feet every round? How much do I fall?
Technically it would be 30, but then we're going to make it 40 for the second round, so that way, otherwise it just breaks up
And
weird.
Gibbs is also still falling?
Yeah, and Gibbs is Gibbs is going to be hitting the ground on their next turn.
Okay, I'm going to use my action. Well, I'm going to use my move action to draw the gravity gun.
Okay.
And I'm going to shoot it at Gibbs to fire towards me to try and,
Amazing. Yeah, absolutely.
about to fall and then just
yeah.
instead.
Okay. Make an attack roll, an important attack roll against Gibbs.
Please hit me. Please hit me. No. Oh.
That was a 19 plus 11.
14.
30.
Gibbs does not have the best armor, and that's pretty fortunate. Gibbs, you are about to hit the ground. You hear this crunch below, and as you brace for impact, suddenly you feel all of your fur, your whiskers, your clothes lifted up as if a huge updraft comes. You pop up about 5 feet, and then just fall 15 feet further. Or you have 15 feet further to fall to the ground, but that will save you a tremendous amount of damage. Well done.
And then I continue to fall.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter for me
Sure,
because
yeah.
I've got my descent thrusters. I don't take fall damage.
Yeah, you begin to change your orientation so that you can land on your feet.
Like a cat.
But no problem. That is your turn, Shade. That brings us to you, Bubs.
As I'm going out and trying to see Gibbs fall from my hand, I'm going to just focus my body like a pencil and just fall faster and reach out my hand again to grab Gibbs.
Sure. Go ahead. I'm going to say make an attack roll for this.
Gibbs does not meet this. She accepts the thing that happens to her, but she's accepted her death. It failed the first time. Like, she's not assisting in any way.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
this.
yeah.
She starts to curl up just in a little, like, ball, just trying to
Make
be okay
make
with
an
this.
athletics check.
Cannonball.
That's what she would do.
That is a 13 plus a athletics.
Yes.
4, so that's a 17.
With the 17, unfortunately, as you move down, suddenly Gibbs rockets past you as she pops up, and you miss her completely. But the ground is just 15 feet below.
Are y'all just playing catch with
Basically, yeah.
Basically, Gibbs becomes a
That
ball.
brings us to, unless there's anything else you want to do, Bubs?
That's it.
There you go. So that brings us to Spice. Spice, you shout this, you watch as everybody rockets towards the ground, and then suddenly Gibbs pops up instead of everybody else, kind of defying gravity for a moment.
So she's gonna be like, what? What? Then she's gonna yell down at Gibbs. We're gonna save you. You're gonna make it, and heal your stamina points.
All of them?
No.
That would
Let's
be
see
All the way
how
back.
much. It's I think 12. Let me be sure. It's God. Where is it?
You get a 6
So
second
it's an
short
inspiring boost. You regain twice my envoy level. 10, 14.
Nice. There you go.
14.
You feel this burst of inspiration hit you, and you, for the first time after curling up into this ball, wonder if maybe you can survive this, and then you get like lifted up into the air. But that is your turn, Spice.
Move action. She's gonna be like, well, if everyone else is gonna die, me too. And she jumps down.
Oh no!
To make matters significantly more challenging, Spice is like, you know what, this is going too well. Jumps down. Spice, you
If
get the
someone
club
makes
at
it, someone will catch her.
Oh
I
no!
love that. Amazing.
Yeah.
Everyone else is down there.
Oh God. Okay. Spice begins to fall. Gibbs.
She's just like,
You pop and suddenly begin to fall again, but this time just 15 feet.
Yeah, so I spend my move action kind of curling around my bottle, trying to protect it with my body as much as possible, understanding that it is glass.
Yeah.
And it is way more important than my life is. So I curl up around it, uncorking it as I do, and spending my very last spell slot to empty it. And you can see the tears of Gibbs start to like streak behind her as they're just mucus. And she's gonna cast Wisp Ally on herself and do a covering fire, giving her
Nice.
+2 to her AC. Not letting herself kind of hope that she can survive this, but like just bracing for impact as she wants her and her bottle to survive it, but not very optimistic.
You curl, and as you hit the ground, expecting rocks and stone, you hit a particularly. You take 1 point of damage as you hit a particularly soft patch of grass. You only take damage starting with 10 feet of fall, and since that was a 15-foot fall,
Nice.
Shade saved you a tremendous amount of damage.
It's like the
So-
weight of the bottle, and you just land.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts way more taking that.
But then I
that
see all my
shot from
friends
your
like
chest.
tilting towards me, and I'm like, ah!
And then you're like, oh my god, at least Spice will. Oh, Spice leaps over the side. Yeah. Amazing.
I want to be included.
So that is what you see.
No more
anything
spell
else?
slots though for Gibbs.
All right, so
That's her
Gibbs,
thing.
you land kind of on your back, cradling the bottle, blood and mucus all across your fur. But that brings us to our allies, or to our ally Rose. You hear move on. No, she's
make it.
definitely dead. You guys set her on fire with a jet engine 3 times.
I tried to save her.
Don't care.
No worries. So that is going to bring us to Rose. You say, do something. And she goes, what do you want? What are you doing? And you just disappear, hearing her voice fade in the distance. You hear her last words to you are, I can't help you. As you leave her range completely.
You get
Spice's last
20%.
Useless.
This is the part where the camera sees her as she gets up. There's nobody left in the room. And she's just like, well,
Except for
fuck.
the smoldering.
Good luck
pile
getting your
of
bounty if it's all
vesk.
down here.
She's like, she like turns around and starts walking towards the exit of the ship. She's going to have to walk. That is going to bring us to the top of the round and Harlax, who turns Gibbs. You're the only person who has landed this far with them.
Oh dear God.
So,
I look fucking pathetic.
yeah,
but
you absolutely do.
poop and mucus.
Yeah, I like shit myself. Why the fuck wouldn't I have?
So many different bodily
Takes
fluids.
steps
So
over
mixed
top of
in.
him. He has this weapon clutched in his hand. He raises it high and swings it around so that the hammer is held almost backwards and lands it right next to your head. He's going to bend down and say, I'm going to save you for last. And he wraps his hands around your neck and begins to choke you, hoping to put you unconscious.
Definitely won't, but we'll see.
This motherfucker.
His natural weapons are not haunted, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So yes, and that's also why his pulling of me down was not -1 either.
Correct. So that is going to be a 24 to hit.
It'll hit.
Okay, so. Well, that's definitely cocked. How do you cock a D4? Okay.
Like this.
You're going to take 7 points of slashing damage.
He hits entirely armor.
Dang.
Gibbs is like fucked up, but like fine.
Slashes across, and as you pull away, there are these like knotted, gnarled sort of wounds. But there is so much gunk and garbage and this gross, almost shimmer of vile material that it seems to sink in. And much like a cut man in like fighting would use Vaseline to seal a wound, it doesn't let you begin bleeding. He pulls back again, sort of shocked at this. But that is his turn.
Nice.
That is going to bring us to Echo. Echo.
Echo is going to attempt to pull the ship up out of the canopy again, just so they don't have to deal with the sheer amount of trunks.
So
Around?
you are putting this ship into, like, you are putting it to its paces. Make a piloting check. This is a fairly high DC. What you are attempting to do essentially
Bless the dice.
is you're trying to essentially flip the ship and also dodge all of the branches and trees around you.
Yep.
This is tough.
Is it a free action to close a cockpit?
No. You saw it. You saw it open
Nice.
and Harlax reached in. It was like a. It's like a process, not like a super fast thing.
That's a 27.
Okay. With a 27, you pull as hard as you can. This craft up, and you feel shuddering as branches do hit the cockpit, and the ship is taking damage as you move up. However, through the canopy, you burst into the blue skies of Tashen. You see the forest below off in the distance, these beautiful mesas covered in yellow flowers. But you are up in the air, and for a moment, it is just you, this nice quiet moment. Anything else, Echo?
Does Echo still have enough movement to orient the ship back towards allies?
Absolutely. So up, it kind of stalls, and then as it begins to tumble, you turn, just kicking the thruster to turn around, and you are now pointed straight down.
How much movement does the ship have? Can I, like, get close to them to at least, like, be over the canopy?
I would say you have about 40 feet left, so you can get down to the canopy. You would basically be about to burst through it again.
All right, that's where Echo wants to be.
So Echo, you go up into the trees, through, and then let this
do one
peter
of these
for a
and-
moment, and then right back down. No problem. You begin this dive bomb. That is your turn, Echo. Shade, what would you like to do? The ground comes at you quickly.
So I'm free action falling.
Yep.
I'm gonna
It's an action.
use my.
Descent thrusters.
I'm gonna use. Well, and they just take effect.
Yeah.
I think I land. But before I land, while I'm overhead still,
Yeah.
I'm going to gravity gun Harlax up to me and try to stab him with the curved blade as a full action.
Okay, so that's how you're taking your two attacks. Love it. Go ahead, make an attack roll with the gravity pistol.
17.
Goes wide. You see this whole patch of dried up leaves shift in the distance.
I'm still flying at him with a sword.
That you are. You can make an attack roll with that sword as you land in combat, essentially.
That'll hit. That's 24.
Against?
KAC, I think it's the carbon steel.
Yeah,
blade.
that just hits. Meets it, beats it.
Nice. We take those. Take those all day. Oh, that's cocked. Nice. 11 points of slashing damage.
Nice. So
The thrust of falling into this.
you stab and you feel the metal grate and grind before the blade
I feel
finds
like
purchase.
it's sort of like a Samus screw attack with the sword as I land.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
The sword comes down hard, and as it strikes, you land, and as you look up, you see the hands holding this weapon coming down to follow you. He's going to take one of his last remaining resolve points and get an attack against you.
That's fine. I can take a beef.
That is going to be maybe even above 40.
Yeah, it's going to hit.
That is 40 even.
Wow,
that's gonna hit.
that's fucking crazy.
Oh, wait, actually. No, that hits.
Actually, all right.
Wait a second.
You are going to be taking 12, 13, 31 points of slashing damage. Or sorry, piercing damage. As he right into you. This is a solid hit and almost taking the momentum of you landing to crush this hammer into your back. You feel the armor and the mechanical components of your body go completely dead in that region.
Crumpled.
But that is his resolve point thing. That is going to bring us to an end of your turn.
Yeah, that was a full action as I fell, so I think
There you go.
that's it.
Bubs.
As I see Gibbs like go upwards from me with the gravity gun, my head is looking up, and then I see Spice falling. So I'm going to. How far is Spice away from me?
Spice just jumped off.
Okay.
So you're probably looking at like
80 feet?
the 80 feet, yeah, something like that.
Okay, I'm going to
I have a
go
couple
up and
turns of
catch her.
falling.
No problem. With 80 feet, suddenly you leap off and you see Bubs look up and rocket towards you. And in just a moment, you are in his arms. You don't hit the ground and your momentum shifts. You have 40 more feet of movement after that,
You go
I
like
believe.
2 feet down.
Yeah, I like just and then it's just like whoop.
You're like Lois Lane. You know that you'll be fine. You just jump off.
I actually carry her like Lois Lane, and I say, "Nice of you to drop in." And I'm gonna give her like a wink, but it looks like I'm actually having a stroke because Bubs doesn't know how to wink.
Yeah, so it's like this. No problem. Phenomenal. You scoop up Spice with the least smooth move of all time. That is your turn, Bubs.
And I'm gonna just go down 40 feet to meet the rest of the people.
40 feet. So if you go up 80 feet, 40 feet down brings you still 50 feet above the ground. So
Yeah, as close as I can get to the ground
sure,
to meet everyone.
no problem.
Yeah.
So you begin to move in that direction. That is your turn, Bubs. That brings us to Spice. Spice, you are caught in Bubs' arms and now descending at a leisurely pace.
She says, "I knew someone was gonna catch me, and I knew it was gonna be you." And she like kisses him on the cheek. That's her whole turn.
There you go. Full action kiss.
Wow.
Full
That
action
brings us
kiss.
to Gibbs.
And Bubs' chart in his head of like, Spice is just a friend with benefits, or Spice is more. There's a check mark and more.
Aw.
Harlax grabs Gibbs by the throat, and Gibbs kind of was afraid, but seeing all of her friends and her vision around her, gives that fiendish smile again and says, "But Harlax, the difference between you and I is I'm not alone. All of your friends are dead and we killed them. And I cast fatigue on him, hoping to fuck him up. So I need him to make a fortitude save.
His best save.
Yeah, I'm sure, but I got no spell slots. What do you want from me?
That is going to be a 27.
He needed to beat a 14. But his hand's real gross because he's touching me, and I hurt his feelings because I'm mean.
And so you can see in this hammer, this little ghostly thing flickering around in his hand, boogers, but he doesn't seem affected by it at all.
And 5 HP from Shade to me. My nose, which was not bleeding, now starts to bleed again, but Gibbs is fine, actually, all things considered.
Yeah. And as he looks down at you, you can see this sneer, and he says, "Disgusting creature."
Yeah.
That is...
Yeah, that's me.
That is your turn, Gibbs.
Thanks, man!
That brings us to Rose, and this camera following her. She's doing like a light jog back to the entrance of the ship. That brings us to the top of initiative and Harlax. As he says, "Disgusting creature," looking down at you.
Yep.
He is going... I hate to do this to you. He's going to take a full attack
Please?
against you.
No, I'm good. I'm actually quite good.
Are you quite good? He does like 40 points of damage.
I have like 45 right now between stamina and hit
So,
points.
first thing first, that is going to be a 32 to hit.
Yeah, okay. I'm not worried about him. Oh, -1 though, man.
Sorry. 31.
Yeah, okay.
Are you still hit?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh,
for
thank
sure.
God. Thank God. Okay.
The squishiest person in the party.
I was really worried about that for
I
a
feel
second.
like even if you weren't the squishiest, the 31 is 31.
Oh, I'm sorry. Does a 31 affect you?
Yeah.
That is 29 points of piercing damage from the first attack.
Almost all of that is armor.
You have power
Yeah.
armor
Like
somewhere?
cracks, but
Cracks that armor open. The second swing is only. What is your AC? That's still probably going to hit.
It's
Actually,
four-
that's definitely
yeah,
going to hit.
it's 40.
That's 25.
sorry,
So-
I'm sorry. So the first one was 29.
The first one was 32.
Sorry.
30.
Oh, damage.
sorry.
Damage. Yeah, I believe it's 29.
Okay, sorry, 1 second. Okay, so that's 7. Alright, so 23 minus, hold on.
And a 25 hits, correct?
Yeah.
Math
So I'll roll damage for that.
1 point of damage.
Yeah. 14. The next hit is going to deal 32 points of
So-
piercing damage.
That's enough for Gibbs to go down. But she does so satisfied knowing that she is like wasted this guy's time on her when he could have killed her like multiple times over, and she's just like been like, I'm good, I'm not good, like, you know, it's fine. Ultimately, she's fine, but it just barely puts her under.
He lifts you by your collar after
Yeah.
that first hit and just says, "Friends are just a weakness to be exploited," and throws you to the ground as you go unconscious. But that is his turn.
Yeah, we're good.
And that brings us to you, Echo. You're rocketing down towards the ground now with your ship.
Can I slow my descent enough to like hover above and provide covering fire like from the cockpit?
This is a moment where you don't have time to really ask what if questions. Is that what you're trying to do?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Make a piloting check. I will say the capabilities are within the craft, yes.
Cool. That's what I want to do.
What do your dice want you to do?
Not that, not
Is it a
fucking
nat-
that.
Is it a natural
Oh, no.
one?
Yeah, it fucking is. Sorry.
Love it.
Sorry.
No, you don't love it.
Do love it.
No one loves that.
So, natural one. As you speed towards your companions, you realize, again, I'm going to hit them. You look across this unfamiliar panel looking for some kind of an emergency brake. You slap the only button that you can see that is bright red.
Oh no.
Suddenly, all the lights within the cockpit shift to the same color. And on your screen, you see 15, 14, 13. You continue to rocket towards your friends.
Wow.
What are you
This
doing?
is a total party kill.
Mosaic Team 6.
Yeah.
Is that an action?
We'll call that movement.
Okay. As a free action, Echo is going to turn up the volume on their voice box and just be like, "It would be most prudent to get out of the way. I have enacted the self-destruct sequence."
It's almost like the speakers from the ship, but it's just Echo's voice. Absolutely, very loud in the space. Yeah.
And as an action, Echo is going to attempt to get out of the ship.
Smart. So, as an action, you're just gonna leap out.
I'm just gonna jump out. I can't
Wow.
really do anything. I don't have any jetpacks. I haven't
problem.
been here long enough to get
Not a
boots.
hard action to do. It is essentially falling in reverse.
Just want to get out.
So you push off with your legs, and suddenly you watch as the craft continues to move, and you follow it at roughly the same speed. You are separate from it, though. That is your turn. You are roughly 60 feet from the ground, and would imagine this is certainly going to collide. This bomb of a ship right into, technically 15 feet behind the party, but that's still pretty close in ship explodey terms. So that is your turn, Echo. Shade.
Oh, sorry.
From where you are, kind of on the ground, having been hit by this person pretty hard, you suddenly see the ship rocket towards you as Echo tells you it is about to explode. What would you like to do?
Gibbs is down.
Oh boy. Okay. Can I get out of the range of this thing crashing?
You don't really know what that is.
Okay.
You can certainly get out of range of the ship striking you.
Okay. can I get Gibbs and take Gibbs out of the range of the crashing and try to get as clear as possible?
You can certainly try. You grab Gibbs and you lug them as far as you can in the direction south of this vessel.
Jump jets, jumping with my jets.
So you're going up?
Like
you
arc trajectory
Sure.
to like grab ship coming here, we going.
So this is what we're gonna do for that. Stay where you are. Go ahead.
Deserves it.
Make an acrobatics or athletics check, your choice.
Okay.
And you can take a +4 conditional modifier to this. And what you're doing is you are grabbing onto Gibbs and timing this.
Okay.
Because it's an easy enough jump, but it's more about whether you're going to jump too early and get struck by the ship or jump
Right.
too late and get struck by the ship.
Right. Okay.
I love this, though. This is a very good idea.
+4 conditional modifier.
That's what I said.
18.
An 18. You wait, kind of holding fast and echo as you broadcast
Sorry,
with your
19,
loudspeaker.
19.
When you broadcast with your loudspeaker, you should move. You look and watch as Shade locks eyes with you and does not that.
Oh, fuck.
Shade, you wait, ready now to jump as this thing collides. We'll get back to that in a moment. That is your turn, Shade. That brings us to Bubs.
So she told everyone this telepathically, so I'm going to, while holding Spice in my arms, just jetpack as high as possible away.
Okay, no problem. You jetpack up further, and as high as possible means you can get back into the hangar if you want.
I think I'm just gonna hover in the air.
Okay, no problem. You get up to about even with the hangar, and looking in, Rose is nowhere to be seen. Muvashi is dead, and you and Spice are kind of alone in this space. But that is your turn.
I'm just gonna say to Spice,
What is going on? What's happening? I don't understand.
And that brings us to Spice's turn.
We are out of my range, so I can't help. So I'm gonna say to Bubby, as romantic as this is, we should probably get back down there to help them.
But the ship.
Bubby, snap out of it! Let's go!
All right. So, Gibbs.
I do not have resolve points to stabilize, so for the first time in the campaign, I'm going to make a death save.
Go for it.
Oh!
The Gibbs is class.
No!
2 failures right off the bat.
no.
What?
So
I rolled an
I
at 1, 2
have
failures.
moved the 40 feet though.
We're not allowed
I'm
to
sorry?
bless my
I
dex
have
anymore.
moved the 40 feet though.
So,
Holy
in a
fuck, we're gonna
moment,
die.
at the end of her round, we're going to resolve what happens to the ship because it's the end of the combat
Gotcha.
phase. And then that's when you're going to take this jump.
Right, but I would have had my 40 feet of movement on my turn too, right?
Not to pick up Gibbs.
No, because
right?
so
thing?
you're
Get
basically
the
holding that
thing?
because if you just jump
matter?
with 40 feet, you are going to just get hit
Well, I
with this
can
crap.
jump trajectionally. And then
Correct.
okay.
The way that
okay.
the ship is falling
Okay.
down towards you,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
I just
So-
want us to not die.
Yeah, you guys are in a pretty narrow confines. You're in the middle of a jungle. So, what is going to happen here?
Gives his tongue that just lulls back on a Shade's shoulder as she is obviously not coming to.
Yeah, not doing super well as Gibbs. The ship begins to descend. As you grab onto Gibbs and leap, your feet are struck by the ship as it goes by. You don't take damage, but you are so disoriented, you do flip multiple times while still holding on to Gibbs. But you are not struck by the ship. You move 40 feet up. Bubs, from where you are looking down, holding Spice says we should go down. You suddenly see Shade leap, grabbing Gibbs's body and going 40 feet into the air, the thrusters on his feet boosting them forward. The ship is going to strike the ground and explode.
Tell us how it explodes.
Tell us the range at which it
we're
explodes.
going to have to...
Right.
Can it
The
explode in
flying.
the Harlax already? Can we
sort
be
of
done
tried
with
to
this?
protect Gibbs as much as possible from the explosion since I've like picked her up and am jumping, kind of like ball around.
You are 10 feet out of the range of the explosion. As it is a 30-foot sphere.
You killed it! Yes! Nice.
So,
Echo.
so Echo, you, what I'm going to say, make a reflex saving throw, and we're going to determine. This is basically a 5-foot up or down as to whether you're within 30 feet or within 35 feet.
Oh my god.
Do you kerplunk or do you
Kaboom.
Sploosh.
That's a 27.
kerplunk?
No, wait, hold on. Math is not my strong suit.
Yeah, do it carefully.
picked the
23,
wrong
not a
game.
27.
Okay,
I
screw.
can't math.
A 23 is still enough.
Oh my god. We also so
Walk it down
stressful.
towards this
Now,
thing.
how about Harlax?
There's this brief moment where you see slow motion, your android mind pulls everything apart and you run these calculations and you spread your body out enough to create just enough wind resistance to pull you back. In this moment as it happens, there is this deafening and as it happens, it's almost like the entire area around you becomes black and white. This bright explosion pulls all of the branches completely horizontal. Some of the trees that are in the immediate vicinity crack and begin to fall away. This is a powerful explosion. The only thing that Harlax gets is a reflex save to take half damage, which they will succeed at.
Damn it.
But half
But half save
damage.
of an exploding ship.
That's true.
Also, sorry about the ship.
we survived. That's all that matters.
And the goal was to hit Harlax in
Yeah.
some way, and
We got the
ultimately you got
bounty.
that.
I
Don't
wanted
get
to
the
land
cool
the ship
ship.
on Harlax, and I have
You
succeeded.
did.
Technically, you have done that.
Failed
minute.
successfully.
I have to do a quick round of math. This is so close.
Story of Echo's life.
Failing upward. Well, in this case, downward, but in a good way.
Well, maybe the shock from the explosion will fail me upward a little bit.
True.
Echo.
Uh-huh.
As this explosion catches Harlax, tell us how it happened.
Nice.
That was 5 points over his minimum.
Thanks, Jesus!
Echo, falling, watches the ship just burst into, like, one of those little, like, almost singularities where it kind of starts to crumple in on itself and then expand outwards, blasting the trees backwards and also, like, their companions being safe. And as the shockwaves kind of, like, clear their vision, they see just, like, a smoldering husk of Harlax, like, impaled by some of the ship debris
So-
into one of the nearby trucks.
As it strikes, this huge explosion ripples through the forest. Trees are leveled. There's a moment where all of you have to turn away because of the intense brightness. But as your vision does return, you can see the hulk of the ship twisted and certainly beyond repair. But an area where that gyro laser you were unable to use above has now pierced straight through his chest. You can see all the way into the ground, almost splitting him open with the thickness of it. And certainly he is dead. But in this moment, eye is still open, still glaring.
Gross.
But all of you have slayed Harlax the Gorefiend, your biggest bounty to date. And I will take you out of initiative order.
Stabilizing Gibbs.
No problem. You rush over to Gibbs and you make a medical check. Make a medicine check, sorry.
As Shade is doing that, you just hear, oh.
Make a reflex save.
Echo was falling. Echo can't catch themselves.
Yeah, we're going to still see if we
Natural 20!
Natural 20.
Oh, finally some good
Yes.
news.
So one good roll.
You hear this
Only-
sound, and then right at the end, as you fall closer and closer, like this shockwave still kind of exploding, you end up landing in such a way that your knees completely buckle. You're still taking damage from this, but it looks way cooler. This is a superhero landing, fist on the ground, one knee on the ground, one up. You
Black
are
Widow style,
taking
where it's realistic and I actually get hurt.
you are taking
Ow, my
12
shin.
points of damage as you collide with the ground. You manage to keep a totally straight face. It could be a completely unchained expression of just that kind of blank, curious look. Really fucking hurts. But you're not going to let on to that.
There's the sound of grinding metal as like one of the like joints like comes dislodged a little bit and there's some sparks coming out from like knees and ankles.
Yeah, absolutely. But for all of you now looking around, you're in the hot jungle air of Tashen. You see Harlax's body maybe like 30 feet away from you in the smoldering ruins of this ship.
Does he stabilize me?
Make a medical check. What was it?
16?
With the 16, you go over, you see Gibbs badly hurt, covered in blood. You're not really sure how much of it is hers and how much of it is Harlax's.
blood and
There's a
poop
ton
and
of just mucus and strange detritus attached to her.
It's like a Jackson Pollock painting.
Yeah, it's the
And
worst.
so you steel yourself. For all of you, shade, normal, expressionless, but you have to steel yourself. You kind of wipe a little area of Gibbs's mouth clean-ish. You put the tongue back inside, and then you administer some life-saving services. Gibbs, you're stable.
Second kiss?
Hey, thanks. Ouch. Whoa.
I really thought Gibbs wasn't gonna make it.
The gravity gun probably saved Gibbs's life.
Yeah,
That, that was a critical.
I could have
critical
taken the
shot.
damage, but I couldn't take another hit from Harlax.
gravity
So
gun,
one or the
man.
other
Yeah.
was the way I was thinking in my head.
That
Yeah.
comes in handy. That
No.
gravity gun. Yeah.
So
You come in handy, my friend.
at this moment, it is probably about noon, and this is the question that I have for you as players. It is 8:30. We kind of missed our break with this very epic fight, so we have an option. We could either continue to 9 o'clock, or we can end early for tonight. Up to you guys.
What? Why would we stop?
Can we
I like
take a
having
break
fun.
though? Yeah, can we break?
So if we take a break, it would need to be super quick because we
Yeah.
only have another
Just like a
Half
quick
hour
bio break.
Yeah, just for peeing.
So we're gonna step away for 5 minutes. Thank you for hanging out with us through this epic fight.
Gibbs
And we'll
survived.
be
We
back
all survived.
in 5 minutes. We'll see you then.
Woo!
Chug to top.
And welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us through that brief break and for this very long combat. We are going to come right back into the jungle of Tashen. All of you gathered around the wreckage of what could have been your first fighter, as well as the corpse of Harlax the Gorefiend. So, Mosaic Team 5, what would you all like to do?
So Gibbs has been stabilized.
Correct.
Still no health, no...
Wait, with my last resolve point, I can do this because I can. Everyone within 30 points heals 48.
Oh, nice.
Because it's my last resolve point.
48.
Dope. 4d8.
Yes.
Not
4...
48.
No, sorry.
48?
As, as, I'm,
Baby!
as I'm in the air, I can see that Gibbs and Echo are okay. And I'm going to fly down with Spice next to the corpse of Harlax.
Sure.
And I'm going to say,
Are you okay with what happened?
What? What are you talking about? What do you mean okay with what happened?
By all accounts, this was a successful mission.
20 hit points to everybody from Gibbs's slobber, essentially.
Nice.
Her own bodily fluids.
So
Nice.
Gibbs, coated in blood and bile and all kinds of gross things. You see, like, get on all fours, the back arches, you see the fur begin to bristle, and some of you who've seen this before are like, oh, like slow motion, oh no. Shakes. And this goes
like-
everywhere. Yeah, you just,
Windshield wipers activate.
Yeah, it's like the One Punch Man, like, okay.
yeah.
Just
But
all
Gibbs is
over.
as out of anything you've ever seen her be. No spell slots, no resolve points, nothing. Gibbs is nothing.
You need a long fucking rest right now.
Yeah, Shade's on battery saver.
Yeah. Okay. So we have the body. We're all good. We're missing one. We're missing two. Where's Lash and
All
then?
members of Mosaic Team 5 are here.
Rose. I left Rose when I jumped off.
Can I calm her?
Yeah, you have her number.
Okay. FaceTime,
Okay, no problem.
and I'm Rose, we're here! We're alive! We're at the bottom. The ship, it exploded, but we're here. If you can wait for us at the top, you can still get your bounty, but you need to wait for us, and you need to help us get the body up from the crevasse.
You look down at this video and you can see the plant-like face of this Goron suddenly like wilt a little bit, and she says, "Oh my God, Gibbs, are you okay?
No, but I'm alive, and I've got
Are
my
you sure? You look terrible."
yeah. I mean, I think this is kind of a good look for my fur. It's really grimy right
It's
now.
not good.
Okay, well then come fix it for me, but you need to come here, please.
Okay, just a moment. Where are you?
We're at the bottom of that crevasse that you saw us all fall into, thanks to Echo. But if you don't mind coming here, that'd be lovely. You don't have to come all the way to the bottom, I understand. I'll meet you at the top, but you gotta give me like 20 minutes to climb up if you don't mind.
You can see, like, you've just been seeing, like, trees pass overhead and they stop, and she goes, "Okay,
Oh, we killed Harlax.
I assumed, because we're talking now. You all jumped off of... Who is Spice? You were all falling and she just jumped after you.
That's really sweet of her. Aww.
It's stupid.
You do stupid things for the people you love. I think that's important. I would have done it for any of them. I did do it, but...
Gibbs, this is very sweet of you, but you need to be more realistic. I'm coming to help. Just, we'll meet somewhere on the way.
All right, Gibbs out. Boop, boop.
You take Peep's catchphrase, shut your comms.
as I'm saying, are you okay with this? I'm thinking like, does she understand that I mean the us?
No,
No, she did not
She's
pick up on
dumb.
that because
Probably all the
Olive did
dead
not pick up. I was like, "What are you talking about?"
It's like the second time Bubs
You okay
like
with
tried
all this
to
death?
like hint.
That's Olive's fault.
So Bubs now is just
Time
gonna.
and place, Bubs. Time and place.
Well, I mean, he just carried her Superman like, so it's kind of, and he just got a kiss, so he's feeling pretty good. He's going to loot the corpse of Harlax.
Okay. So you set Spice down, and bend over this corpse. Make a perception check as you begin to rifle through the charred and badly
Is his weapon
warped
still next to
elements.
him?
It is. It is a mundane weapon, and so as a result, it is wrecked.
Okay.
Most of his gear is in very bad shape, but make a perception check.
All right.
Let's see.
Is his weapon like very wrecked? Can I fix it?
Yes. I would say, honestly, you might have more.
I could probably fix
You might have more luck building a new weapon than fixing this one.
I could probably
It's
do
badly
either of
ruined.
those.
Okay. Perception?
Yes.
23.
Okay. So you pull on the armor. It is badly damaged, but it is advanced hard plate armor. The
Is the armor
glaze,
still good?
it's damaged, but you could restore it,
Okay,
absolutely.
I'm gonna take that.
Okay. So you begin to undress this vesk. You have to slide it. One of the things that you notice when you pop the chest piece off, you have to slide it up this spike of this laser cannon. But no problem. You can add advanced hard plate armor to your inventory. You also see, well, let me roll for this.
I thought you were gonna be like, well,
Okay.
let me go get this.
You also see intact a small folded mechanical device. And as you look at it, you've seen something like this before. A much larger version. But this is a drone of some kind. And it seems to be intact. And then finally, Bubs, your heart breaks a little because you see cracked in half a purple force field emitter, which is able to provide a personal force field to individuals. Probably why he was so hard to hit, but also now dashed by the ship, almost melted.
Do you think I could possibly repair that?
Make an engineering check.
I mean, I'm gonna take it anyways and ask Shade.
Okay, so yeah, don't worry about that. You take it and you can
Yeah.
ask Shade later.
I'm gonna call Peep and tell him that we have successfully killed Harlax.
Sure.
I take a picture of the dead body and send it via text at the same time.
You call out across the drift, across time and space, over to Peep, wherever he may be. A second goes by, and then you see, kind of coming into focus in the holograph in front of you, those of you who have it enabled, the face of Peep. Sort of has like really messy hair, looks a little flushed, but he just goes, "Hey guys, is everything going okay?"
Is everything going okay with you? You look a little flushed.
Well, I'm packing. I'm getting everything ready. We have your medical thing ready.
Nice.
We've successfully killed Harlax. However, we've sustained a number of
Dire injuries.
injuries.
He looks out across the video, squinting, and he just says, "Oh dear, yeah, you look like you're in pretty bad shape."
Yeah. I don't know how to make this nosebleed stop, but
Well, Gibbs, you're the medical officer, so I would hope.
well
that
then you
could.
must understand that it's a pretty fucking bad nosebleed then.
Okay.
Duh.
Make an intimidation check.
Uh-oh.
Against Peep.
Sorry, I called.
16 plus. My intimidation's really high. 9. 16 plus 9.
25.
25, thanks.
Peep.
You hear Peep suddenly just go, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Jeez, I don't know why you have to snap at me like that."
Sorry, it's been a long day. I'm grateful for the medical bay though, because that would fix this.
Yes. Obviously, I can't get to you in a predictable amount of time through the drift. So why don't we meet at the Eclipse Mall, and I'll deliver it myself.
Yes! Yes!
It's amazing
the
that you guys were able to take out Harlax. That is a huge, huge boost in our favor. And I think if that's true, and all of a sudden you hear the little blip, and he looks down at the picture that you sent of the corpse of this guy, and it sure seems to be true, I think my request is going to get approved.
Wait, Pete, just to throw one more pickle into this whole thing, 40% of the... 40? I think we agreed to? 40. 40% of the bounty needs to be split with the bounty hunter Rose Lashwind. We couldn't have done it without her.
We probably could have.
We definitely
What
couldn't
do you
have.
mean split?
Like, the 40% of the $1 million that we were gonna get.
I understand what splitting means,
Oh, okay.
but my question is, as the medical officer aboard
Mm-hmm.
the ship, why did you decide to split a price set by your employer, Mosaic? You don't really have the ability to do that.
Spice agreed to it too. It was dire considering the circumstances.
You see, he turns, "Spice, you're the captain. Did you agree to this?"
Like, Spice is sitting with, like, after Bubs put her on the ground, she's just, like, sitting with her head in her hands, and she's just, like, because she's, like, exhausted from this fight. And she, like, takes her hands away from her head, and she's like, "Yep, I did."
Guys, this isn't something that we can cover. This is coming out of your pocket. But if that's the deal that you made, you should honor it. You can't really be making enemies, more of them, as there is somebody looking for you guys now.
What do you mean
amongst
looking
the
for
bounty
us?
hunters. There's some guy named Diego
Yeah.
who's been asking around.
Oh.
Nazma clued me into it because it's something that's going out over the net now. But
Okay. Well, we'll take that in for future bounties, but she was super helpful for this bounty, and again, I'm sorry that we did that. It just felt like the difference.
It doesn't come out of my paycheck. It's coming out of all of yours.
That's
so.
fine. I just, I get that it's more paperwork. That's all. I'm apologizing to you. You can take it. I don't know. We're good. I'm good. Everything's fine. She's nice.
Why don't we get you guys to the Eclipse Mall? I know that Shade, sometimes it's kind of difficult to navigate the drift, but luckily you can get there in a day, almost guaranteed.
Almost.
Once you arrive, I'll meet you guys in the food court, and I have some really good news. This is almost assuredly going to push us over, and we're going to be able to go to Aras Bay. Do you guys know Aras Bay?
No.
What is that?
Given its location, the only people who may know about it, I would say Gibbs
Oh, shit.
and Bubs. Go ahead and make culture checks.
Good at culture. 13 plus 8.
21.
21.
4.
4. You've never heard of Aras Bay.
Yeah.
But you, Gibbs.
Yeah, I used a travel magazine and some toilet paper way back in the day. I saw there's some cruises around there, right?
There are cruises that go out of Aras Bay. Aras Bay is this beautiful tropical resort town right on the beach. It sort of is in this very mesa-laden area. The spaceport is the only thing separate from the city, but then you travel down this road and there's this beautiful beach resort. They're well known for that's a great role. They're well known for these dolphin-like creatures that navigate through the bay there, that have these bioluminescent streaks. They're called runners or runner dolphins because they almost look like these ghostly running lights of ships passing underneath boats in the night. You've actually heard one of the things that it's well known for. Though it is not space-based, they have invented a form of a game called Lockout that is called Harbor Lockout. They play it within their own enclosed bay. This is where they take naval ships and use them to compete in these sort of mock battles. There are actually championships that are held aboard this planet, and Aras Bay won the planet-wide competition last year, so it is well known for that. Also, you would know about Aras Bay, having pulled that little leaflet out.
Yep.
Much like any tourist destination, there is gambling here. There are all kinds of sort of
Casinos and stuff?
There are casinos. There are liquor stores, bars. There are all kinds of things of that nature.
Are there a boardwalk?
There is, in fact, a boardwalk.
Oh,
Yes.
Guys, it's like, all I remember from all the advertisements is that they had this dancing citrus fruit. It was really annoying, but it's a pleasant enough place, it seemed, for, a tourist trap, essentially, but it's got all sorts of amenities and city life and
Maybe we should
stuff.
discuss this once we return to the ship and get you medical attention.
I am the medical attention, but yes, I could use the nap, I think. How are we gonna get up out this hole? Do we need the body? We don't need the body now, right, Pete?
No, please bring the body with you, and we can turn that over to the authorities to collect the bounty.
Okay.
And then that, I'll subtract Rose Lashman's amount from your payouts, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I think you're taking a negative on this, if it's as much as you said.
We'll talk to her when we get back. She's more friend than foe, to be honest. And if you can get her under the Mosaic payroll, I know you're short for medical officers. She's quite talented and wonderful.
Team 3 does need a new medical officer. The last one got torn in half. So I'll definitely put in some paperwork and see if we can get her a spot.
I'll ask if she's interested. Then it might all kind of be a wash for Mosaic, but I get it. We'll settle our debts, and I'm sorry for the extra paperwork, but she is talented and helpful.
Honestly, you guys have been doing a really good job lately. And so it's more of an inconvenience to you than to me. It's fine, Gibbs. Don't worry about that.
Thanks. I'm good.
I have to go start this paperwork now, but what I'll do is I'm going to get a couple things together, and I'll meet you guys at the Eclipse Mall.
Hey, Peep.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Oh, thanks, Gibbs. I appreciate you, too.
I almost died today, and I would have been sad if I didn't tell you that before I died.
Make a diplomacy check.
I want to heal with the intention of healing the wound I caused. I want to repair the rift I made in my anger.
It's the opposite of intimidation.
Yeah, the endearment. I want him to be back endeared to me.
Sure.
14 plus 9 is 23.
Okay. You could see he was never really mad at you. So there's no real wound to cure. But you can see his expression softens and he says, Gibbs, this is going to be a really great opportunity to take some time off. You can heal. The water is really salty, so you can just float in it, I heard. You don't even have to do any work. You can just sit there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really nice, and I think this is a great opportunity for us all to relax and take things a little bit easier.
Nice.
It's worth a tremendous amount of money if we end up actually landing it. It's probably going to take us a little bit of time, but that's good. We can relax.
Nice.
And I think there's a cover, actually, that's going to be great for you.
A cover?
I'll tell you more when you get to the Eclipse Mall. Okay?
Okay, bye.
Peep out.
Peep out. Gibbs out.
Unfortunately, he hangs up before. You see this kind of weird expression as you say peep out before him, and then he hangs up.
I forgot my name.
Gibbs
I'm
had
looking
her
up
head
to see.
Yeah.
Can I like boop 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 back up?
You could,
Carrying-
but you also saw Bub's jetpack down, and you'd imagine he could probably one by one shuttle you up.
Oh yeah,
I
but
was just
like
gonna say.
save them the hassle of having to do everyone.
You can certainly try.
Yeah.
Make acrobatics checks, or make one.
Okay.
As he's doing this, I'm just gonna start bringing people up.
Sure.
Bring the body first. Rose is gonna meet you up there, FYI.
Okay, I'm gonna bring the body up.
Okay.
I
So
guess
you
I-
watch as Bubs takes like a part of the chest piece and a part of the under leg armor, and there is this like sticking sound because the flesh is charred to the metal before there is a loud, almost like leather ripping, and it just comes away in your hands, and you begin to fly up. All of you see little flecks of Harlax fall away, but no problem.
Snowing.
What was your acrobatics check?
I didn't do one because I was gonna say, if Gibbs is willing, I would have Gibbs like piggyback up.
Gibbs is very willing.
Sure. Gibbs, you wrap your arms
Gibbs
around.
not doing so hot.
We gotta find a player character for you today. Yes.
20
The cactus.
Squeak, squeak.
acrobatics.
sorry.
24.
24. Gibbs, you wrap your arms around Shade's neck, and there is a Shade lifts off, grabs onto this element of tree, and then propels himself further. You go back and forth, and your body kind of swinging around, but no problem. As Bubs finishes taking the last of you up, you too make your way and are all now back within the Tagatosh Oxai. There is a and you hear the door open. Out of breath, Rose Lashman runs into the room. Where's Gibbs?
Hi, Rose.
She runs over to you. She's going to bend down, and you can see she grasps your head in both hands, and all of the petals on her face kind of open up and flutter, and this powder bursts out and into your face. And as you inhale it in, you can feel it rush into your bloodstream like a shot of adrenaline, and you are going to heal 10 points of health.
Nice. And I take her ears and I go mwah, right on the top of her forehead.
Okay.
And I say thank you.
Because you can see like the leaves kind of dented in a little bit, but they pop back out. You're welcome, Gibbs. Oh my God, you all move fast.
Isn't they fast? They're so fast. So we finished the bounty. We talked to Pete, our boss, technically. We
mission
cleared your 40% for your work. But he also mentioned if you're interested, Team 3 could use a medical officer. If you want steady employment, benefits, a ship, if you like the team dynamic. I don't know much about them, but you do well in a team, and you might do well on that team specifically. They're Team 3, so they're probably a little more organized.
Make a diplomacy check. Take a +4 organizational bonus. A +4 conditional modifier, because that mention of organization versus working with all of you is certainly attractive.
Ooh,
Do I work with organized members of the team? Or do I almost
17
die?
on this dice plus my diplomacy is +9 because my
40%.
charisma's
She
high.
didn't jump down the hole.
She draws back for a moment and looks at you. You know, I worked alone mostly because those I've worked with in the past have not been very fun.
Yeah.
They've dragged me back quite a bit.
Right.
I have individuals similar to some of yours. You see the eyes flick over to Spice.
Spice looks at her dumbly.
Would act very rashly. It has been acceptable working with all of you. And I do admit, it is nice not having to rely on manipulation all the time. That was much faster than what I intended to do. Set up a meeting with people. Let me see what this company of yours is all about.
And no pressure from me, and you're still gonna get paid regardless. It's just, you know, a difference in lifestyle might be good for you for a while, and I'd be happy to call you coworker and friend.
You can see she smiles a little bit at that, and she says, "We'll see."
Absolutely. All right. Well, if you don't mind escorting our sorry asses back to the ship.
Before they do that, I'm gonna go over to Muvashi. Mm-hmm. She's dead, right?
Yeah. She was in death saves, and you guys having left her unattended for a long time, certainly dead.
I'm going to
Muvashi, we did. Oh.
do like the very sympathetic, like, you know, like put your hands over her eyes to close her eyes.
Sure.
And maybe like I have like maybe like a sheet or something. I'll just put it over her.
Okay.
Put the lid on.
You don't have a sheet, but you look over to this pile of
coffin.
crates.
Yeah.
And as you do, there are several like almost canvas-like tarps that cover some of them.
Yeah.
So no problem. You go over, you take it off. As you do, you again remember these are all boxes of ammunition. Mm-hmm. And really, as you kind of like lay this sheet across, looking at these boxes, some quick mental math, you could fill the armory. And in effect, utilizing this cache of ammunition would allow you guys, with a quick count, and you did take a little, you guys do have some time to kind of look at this stuff. Mm-hmm. Just one moment, because I wrote this all out for a reason. There is approximately 1,000 rounds of scatter shells, so just for shotguns, 2,000 rounds of for standard batteries, things that could use in lasers, 300 rounds of long gun or sniper ammo, 750 rounds of small arms ammunition.
What was that? What?
750.
750.
I'm not writing this down. You guys got this.
And 25 explosive scattergun shells.
Ooh.
Oh, Bubs, I forgot about all that. That would be... Can we bring the ship around instead of...
Yeah, I'm sure we could do that.
And as we're doing this,
I'm piloting.
And now that you know where the opening is, you could probably, and especially now that you've damaged the canopy very badly, Echo, you can definitely see probably from overhead a hole down to the ship now.
I'm gonna say to Gibbs,
I want to look for Muvashi's body and see if I could find maybe someone I could contact to let him know that she's passed. What Harlax spoke about the way of the warrior, I understand maybe their culture would want to, you know, protect their fallen. Maybe we have to send her somewhere.
I have an idea. And I have an idea that would also carry on her quest. And I think I'll need Spice's help to code it in Vesk, and probably someone who's good with computers. But this place was sending out messages to the entire Vesk population, maybe not the entire Vesk population, but a lot of them who were interested in carrying on Harlax's journey. What if we turned it off, but what if we changed it to tell them that Harlax is dead and that Muvashi accomplished Orthothiax's mission and sort of stemmed the flow of whatever resistance was running towards Harlax. I don't know if it's a good thing or not. I don't know if Muvashi was right or Harlax was right, but I know that Muvashi fought at our side, and that's important to me. And I don't want her to die in vain, and she wasn't here for a bounty or anything. She was here because she cared that Harlax was going to die. Can we do that?
I think we can, and I think we should also put something in the message about her warrior spirit lives on.
Yeah, absolutely. But that seems important.
Yeah, let's do it.
Echo, could you help us if you went and got the ship for the ammunition? And
For what it's worth, I think this is an inadvisable task.
Why?
We would
should
be
not.
putting our name on the destruction of the leader of the Veskin Rebellion.
We don't have to put our name on it. Mubashi's name.
We are bounty hunters. We're not politicians. We're not soldiers.
Oh, let's have some fun.
No, we're not. You're right. I hear you, but
Getting involved in a Vesk civil war is very foolhardy.
As Shade says this, the recording that you had originally heard that Spice translated for you echoes in your mind. There are no bystanders. We're all soldiers now.
it doesn't. It's easy to feel that way, and it's easy to think that it doesn't matter to us specifically, but this war is going to come crawling at our doorstep more than it already has. Harlax was a war criminal that we got a bounty for. We got involved in that way, but what's to say that our friends and family back home aren't part of the next rebellion, aren't part of the next planet that gets overtaken? And even if it's not us specifically, if it's our friends and family who are going to die or just innocent civilians, why not? Why wouldn't we take the 10 minutes or 20 minutes it'll take to send out this message?
Spice, as Gibbs says innocent civilians, there is this flashback that you have for all
shit.
of this. You are back in Akaton. The red sand swirling around you. You smell burning building. You smell the aftermath of battle, or in this case, a bombing run. And you remember a time where your family was hurt by war itself and against the Vesk. But you're right back.
Spice is going to, like, drop to her knees in panic as she, like, remembers, and she's, like, shaking on the ground and, like...
You okay?
She's not okay. She has this, like, you know, panic response to her memories.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She's triggered.
I'm gonna take out the water that I was saving, that I believe Shade gave me, and I'm gonna take it out and...
Spice, drink something, you're shaking.
She can't. She doesn't.
Spice.
To get back to the ship.
Right. Well, why don't you bring it around to us? Is that feasible? If Rose goes with you, at least you'll be safe. The way's already clear.
I was going to mention I can go with you. Fine.
But we can't move her right now.
I'm going.
As Rose walks with Shade, she does turn and say, I bet Bubs could probably carry her. I've seen him do it. But she turns and continues to walk with Shade.
Mind your business, Rose.
I'm gonna kneel down to Spice and just go,
Spice, can you hear me? What is happening?
She hears Bubs and she's like... The thing with Akaton is that she loves it, but the memories bring her so much pain. So coming back to reality, she doesn't want to come back, but then she hears Bubs and she, like, kind of shakes her head violently and she's like... and reaches for the water.
Trembling, you take this water, but still, as you take the first sip, it's almost like the sand is in there. You feel the grit. And then as you almost like swish it around in your mouth, that disappears. Just water.
Ugh, so painful. She just kind of like digs her face into Bubbles' shoulder. She can't get up.
It's all right. You're okay. You're with me.
She just kind of like clings to him.
And so as you all have this moment within the hangar, Shade, you and Rose take a little bit of a trip towards the area where you left your ship. It is a walk. You are going back up the karst. You are going then across the jungle, through the Tyrant's jungle, and then into the place where your ship actually is. But as you begin to walk, Rose says, I'll help you through the jungle. You made a mess of that last time. Continues to walk.
I don't say anything. I light up another cigarette.
So as Shade smokes his way through the karst, and all of you wait for the ship to arrive. And because it's 9 o'clock, this is where we're going to end for the evening. But congratulations on defeating Harlax in a very unconventional way.
Pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
No, you
Explosions
threw a
are
spaceship
cool.
at him. I mean, that's pretty cool. So ultimately, thank you so much for everybody who tuned in to this session. of Mosaic Team 5. We are going to be back next Thursday, I believe, correct? Everybody back next Thursday? Maybe one person's missing it. You? Everybody but Matt will be back next
For
Thursday.
Eclipse Mall, for shopping episode. Send us
For
your
a
shopping
shopping
list.
episode to the Eclipse Mall.
Send us your
Very similar to session 1. This is kind of just Shade hanging out in the cockpit, running some diagnostics,
But now I
and
have
you guys
Squeak
are
to
going
hang out
out.
with.
That's true.
true.
That's true.
We're
Assuming
gonna
that
get
he's still
groomed.
okay.
No, pamper day for Squeak.
I'm not paying for that shit. He's a dumbass dog.
So,
Whoa! Whoa!
Gibbs is barely okay with you guys feeding him rations.
Oh my god.
it's with your, like, the food resource thing.
Yeah.
with
How
Gibbs,
can you have so
absolutely.
much compassion for literal criminals, but not for our sweet baby boy?
Because criminals are humans. Criminals are...
No, they're not. They're fucking
Gibbs not a
vesk.
human!
Yeah, whatever. They're...
sentient creatures. Of
She's a
humanoid
rat with a
quality.
very, like, distinction between animals and people.
Look at this sweet
Yeah.
little
Which is
boy.
hilarious.
Yeah.
I feel like for Yosoki that has to be a very strong distinction, and there are probably lots of vegetarian Yosoki.
Yeah.
However, it is the end of our session for this week. We will be back next week. Sends a Matt. If you want to catch some more role-playing action, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be playing Adventures in Alberon, I believe session 114 or maybe even 115 of our sweeping D&D 5e campaign. But until then, please stay safe. It's crazy and very hot out there. We'll see you.
See you, space
ya.
boyfriend.